One day in history, someone asked God, give me a home where the buffalo roam, and thus God made McAlester. And the last time McAlester and Will Rogers met, we had 2 games decided by 8 points, with the Ropers emerging victorious both times. Tonight, the black and gold look for revenge as they continue this home stretch. Will it be done, or will the Ropers lasso the herd once more? We're about to find out. Hello and welcome to the McAlester Activity Center, a.k.a. the MAC in McAlester, Oklahoma. I'm your voice of the Buffaloes, Brandon Green, along with Chase McNutt, and you are tuned in to the Lady Buffalo pregame show here on KNED 1150 AM, 98.3 FM on the KNED app, as well as McAlsterRadio.com on the KNED tab. Video streaming on the McAlester Radio YouTube channel. Tonight we have the Will Rogers Lady Ropers and your McAlester Lady Buffaloes. Partner, the Lady Buffaloes are winners of 4 of their last 5, and despite not playing their best ball against Edison last Friday, they still escaped with a 5-point win. Tonight, the Lady Buffaloes know who their opponent is, what they're capable of, and are looking to continue their ascension up the 5A4 standings with a statement win tonight.
Yeah, the thing about basketball, it's not really about how you start the season. It's just about when you can get hot. And right now, these Lady Buffs seem to be on fire. As you've mentioned, they've won 4 of their last 5 games. And let's make it 5 of 6 tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing this matchup go off in game 1 of 2.
Absolutely. So the last time that McAlester played Will Rogers was actually at the top of the 5A4 standings. And they had not won a game by less than 15 points or more. So for McAlester to be able to hold it to a 6-point game was really the start of where things started going awry for the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But right now, let's look at the 5A4 standings. Currently, Coe is just better than everybody else right now in the 5A4 standings. They are 114. Would be hosting a regional. They've come a long way over the last 10 to 12 years. They're 7-2 plus 70 in the plus minus. Pryor at number 3, 7-2 plus 66. Will Rogers is right now at number 4. They're 5-4 plus 16. And of course, if you know the big difference between 3 and 4, it's the same way when it comes to football. It's the same way when it comes to basketball. Same way when it comes to baseball. If you were the 3 seed, that means that you don't have to go to the 5A3 number 1. You get to go to the 5A3 number 2. So Will Rogers, this is a must-win game for them tonight as the season's coming to an end, to try to get back up into the 3 spot, overcome Pryor to get themselves in a better situation come regional play. Tulsa Memorial is at number 5 at 4-5, negative 32. Tahlequah 6 at 2-7, negative 57. McAlester at 1-8, negative 94, and Edison Prep 0-9 at negative 101. Already for McAlester, you being the 7 seed means you don't have to go to the other 5A3's 1 seed. You get to go to their 2 seed right now. So they're wanting to just continue to climb up the 5A4 standings. But also, it also means that if they can stay at the 7th spot and just not get below Edison, but Edison, you're just looking at 1 game difference. So McAllister's wanting to keep on chugging along, and if they can continue to win, they're looking pretty good in terms of not having to have the hardest road ahead. So, looking at the McAlester Lady Buffaloes, we mentioned their game against the Edison Prep Lady Eagles last Friday, in which McAlester won 46-41. McAlester shot worse than Edison at 33% and was 1 of 8 from 3, but still held Edison to just 34% from the field. McAlester also had 15 turnovers to just 10 for Edison. McAlester won, though, due to their rebound ability. Get this, 47 rebounds to 19, and 17 offensive boards to 7. Free throws were 17 of 27 for McAlester, 6 of 16 for the Lady Eagles, so that also played a factor in that game as well. And the stellar play of Rylan Lesnow, and Chase is going to talk about her in just a moment, but again, Rylan Lesnow, career high 19 points, and McAlester needed every bit of it. She was 54% from the field, the only Lady Buffalo that was really shooting effectively back last Friday. She was at 5 of 9 from the free throw line, had 16 rebounds, which I believe is a new career high for the sophomore. A steal, 2 blocks led to that just dynamite performance from Rylan Lesnow. Cambry Zoomer with 15 points, and she got most of it from the free throw line, 11 of 14 from the free throw line, and she was only 15% from the field, but of course her ability to get to the free throw line was McAllister's another reason why they won that game. And also Avery Alberson, 5 points, but she had 3 steals once again, and she's climbing up the steals per game ladder. 2.3 is really good in high school basketball, and she's just 0.3 behind the team leader, Cambry Zoomer, who has 2.6. So we are going to be looking at the Will Rogers Lady Ropers now, as they are 7-6 on the season, led by head coach Jonah Johnson. They were averaging 62.2 points per game going into the calendar year 2025. Since they have played McAlester, which is the last 5 games, that has dipped 10 whole points. They're giving up around the same amount, 46.7 points per game. So they won 6 out of their first 8 rather. They've lost 4 out of their last 5, and they've scored under 45 points in all of those games except for 1. So these are how the games have gone. 76-51 win over Memorial after McAllister's lost to the Will Rogers Lady Ropers back on January 3rd. That was a 51-45 game. We'll get to that game in just a moment. Again, 76-51 win for Tulsa Will Rogers over Memorial. Then they lost to Coweta 46-34. Lost to Durant 47-33. Beat Edison Prep 60-41, but then lost to Pryor 55-27, and then lost to Durant 41-32. In fact, they are 0-6 in games scoring under 50 points. So McAllister's been known for their defense a whole lot. If McAllister can continue their defensive play here today, they look like they're in good shape because, again, the Lady Ropers, they're winning games when they're scoring. They haven't found out how to win a game despite their shot not being there yet. So McAllister wants to continue their stellar defensive play that they've had over this 4 out of 5 game stretch that we've seen where they've won 4 out of their last 5. So that sends us right into our players to watch for McAllister who can help make that happen. And you have Rylan Lesnow here, Chase.
Yeah, Rylan Lesnow, Brandon. She's going to be my player to watch for this girls' game. As we've already talked about, she absolutely dominated her last time out against Edison, posting a Shaq-like stat line, 19 points. I mean, that's a near 20-20 game, 19 points, 16 board, double-double, and a win. She stayed out of foul trouble, which was a point of contention we talked about last time because that has been an issue at times this season. They needed her on the floor, and she gave them everything that she had. She was also super effective as she tore up the inside of that Edison half-court defense. We'll see if I wasn't here for the first game that you guys had with the Ropers. Obviously, it wasn't here, but if they come out in that half-court in a zone defense, I would expect to see Lesnow get a lot of the same looks inside as well, or at least have the opportunity to have a big game tonight.
Yeah, and also one thing you mentioned about the foul count, she was smart with her fouls too, because a lot of the fouls that they had, Edison could have made it a breakaway score to be able to make it a 1 or 2 point game or 1 possession game at the time in the fourth quarter. That was Rylan Lesnow is learning as the day goes on, as each game passes by, and that's what we expected from a younger team or a less experienced team in the McAllister Lady Buffaloes this year. So the keys to the game for McAllister against Will Rogers.
Well, Brandon, for these Lady Buffs, they're going to have to continue to turn defense into offense. This team is not going to blow you away by scoring, in the 60s. As we've talked about, they play really good defense, and that was what we saw last week. And we actually saw that in the first game as well, as this was just a 5-point loss. But their intense half-court zone defense will play a huge part in this game tonight. Defense, I believe, can and will be the difference, especially if we get a repeat of what we got the last time these two teams met, and what I've already mentioned was a 6-point loss.
Yeah, but we're looking at that 6-point loss. It was a back-and-forth game for its entirety, with the exception of the first quarter that saw McAllister shoot 11% better from the field, 35% to 24, and out-rebound Will Rogers 42-30. The problem was the turnover issue. The Lady Buffaloes had 15 first-quarter turnovers. That contributed to an early 16-0 hole in the first 2 minutes. It looked like Will Rogers was about to run away with it. But then all of a sudden, McAllister chipped away. And by the middle part of the second quarter, it was a 5-point game. But again, that first quarter and that 16-0 run early was enough to doom the Lady Buffaloes. The final turnover count was 27-15 advantage Will Rogers. Free throws were also an issue. McAllister was 9 of 18 from the charity stripe. Will Rogers, for the past however many years, has been a really good free throw shooting team, and that was no exception up in T-Town, where they went 20 of 25 from the charity stripe. So they made more free throws than McAllister attempted, and McAllister attempted quite a bit at 18 free throw attempts. So we're going to see if that plays a similar role in today's game between the black and gold and the blue. And what looks like it's going to be blue and gold today.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a battle of some golds here tonight. And we have the captain meeting over at midcourt right now. We have about 4.5 minutes until we have our starting lineups announced, our national anthem, and tip-off here in MacTown, as McAllister is wrapping up a 3-game home stretch before they head up to T-Town once again to take on the Tulsa Edison Lady Eagles back on Friday. So that will be, again, just 3 days from today. But they get a little bit of a break, too. They get a couple of days where they can rest, hone in their skills, but they're hoping to do it coming off of a third straight win. This will be the first time this season McAllister has won 3 games in a row, if they can get it done here in upset fashion over the 4-seed and 5A4, the Tulsa Will Rogers Lady Ropers. We will take a break. When we come back again, those starting lineups and your national anthem here on KNED.
Don't let heating and cooling issues break your heart this February. At Freeze and Flare Heat and Air, we know there's nothing worse than dealing with an uncomfortable home. Whether you're trying to stay warm on a chilly night or beat the heat on an unseasonably warm afternoon, our expert team is here to make sure your system is running perfectly. Show your HVAC system some love this month, and let us ensure you stay cozy, comfortable, and carefree all season long. We are licensed, bonded, and insured. Mechanical license number 001-44485.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester says to all Oklahomans, your voice and your dream to buy a new or used vehicle starts today at Patriot CDJR in McAlester.
Take $17,000 off Ram 1500 trucks or get 0.9% financing for 72 months. Take $15,000 off 2500 Bighorns.
Together, we will make Oklahoma car buying great again.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester. Ram MSRP 57605. Bighorn 76845.
McAlester Direct Primary Care offers 24/7 access to your provider, deeply discounted rates on labs and imaging, more time with your provider, same-day or next-day appointments, and even home visits for a flat monthly membership fee. We now offer hormone replacement therapy in addition to our other services. For more information, please stop by our office, McAlester Direct Primary Care at 6th and Carl Albert, or give us a call at 918-233-6522.
Stipe Law Firm, your first call when the unthinkable strikes. For over 80 years. We focus on wrongful death, personal injury, truck and oil field accidents, insurance bad faith, probate, end-of-life preparation, and Social Security disability claims. We are here to advocate for you in all of your legal needs. We are a full-service law firm with over a century of experience representing Oklahomans across the state, professionally and discreetly. We win our cases in courtrooms, not on social media. Call today, 918-423-0421, or go online to stipelaw.com.
Running into an old friend is nice. Running into a total stranger, well, not so good. Now, you don't need help from Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop for those greetings with friends, but if you have one of those unwanted encounters with a stranger, give Buck Wilson a call at 918-423-3161. They are expert craftsmen, specialists. They can straighten out your situation. Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop, 103 East Oklahoma, McAlester. Again, call 918-423-3161.
Now we celebrate.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. From now until the end of January, we are celebrating 10 years of serving and being a part of your community. We'll be running some of our biggest sales and service specials ever, so if you need a vehicle for the family, a truck for your business, or some economical transportation, we have it for you. So come make it happen at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula at our 10-year anniversary sale.
Welcome back to McAlester, Oklahoma, as we are now about to have our national anthem. So let's send it down to the floor. Here they'll play it. We're going to have a recording here today. Barney, you about ready?
I'm ready for some basketball. Let's get it started.
Yeah, they've been doing some live national anthems here recently, but they had the recording today, but there's nothing wrong with the classics, right?
Can't beat it.
So we're now going to have our starting lineups announced for the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. Again, they're wearing their road gold jerseys today with the blue numerals on the front and back. We're going to start off with number 23, Elizabeth Clark, the sophomore forward, standing at 5'8". The number 5, Cadence Young, the sophomore guard, standing at 5'1". Number 1, Lindsay Overstreet, the senior guard, standing at 5'6". Also expect number 2, Anaya Justice, the sophomore guard, standing at 5'5".
There's another 20-something number, but her hair is covering the other half of her number, so we'll have to wait on that one.
I don't see Sanaya Morrison playing, though, which that would be pretty important news that we would be talking about. And Sanaya Morrison, I don't believe one of the starters for the Will Rogers Lady Ropers tonight. It'll be number 21 instead.
24.
Sorry, thank you, 24. That would be Aaron Gibson. So no Sanaya Morrison. Instead, we had the starter Anaya Justice in for, Anaya Justice in there for Sanaya Morrison, who was stellar against McAlester back in their game on January 3rd. So that's going to be something to look at as we make our way throughout the night here. Now the starting lineups for the McAlester Lady Buffaloes, 4-11 on the year, led by first-year head coach Courtney Bashirs. Going to start off with the senior guard, number 0, Kaylee Knight, getting the start here. Again, the McAlester Lady Buffaloes wearing their home white-on-white uniforms with the gold numerals on the front and back. Sophomore guard, number 1, Cambry Zoomer, averaging 14.3 points per game, lead the team in that stat category. Number 3, senior guard Avery Alverson, who has reported 3 or more steals in her past 4 games. You have sophomore guard number 5, Rylan Lesnow, coming off a career-high performance, 19 points and 16 boards against Tulsa Edison on Friday. And number 21, sophomore guard Taylor Williams, who has looked really good as of late. And we mentioned her confidence back in that game against Tulsa Edison last Friday. We'll see how she builds on it with a start here tonight for her home team. We're about to have your tip-off here, brought to you by McAlester Clothing Consignment. Accepts consignments Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and offers a 50-50 split. Consign with us and pick up great bargains, 1212 South Main McAlester, behind Dollar General. Again, for those listening on radio, it'll be gold-on-gold uniforms for the Will Rogers Lady Ropers, McAlester home white-on-whites. McAlester should be moving the ball left or right across your radio dial when they have it, and the Lady Ropers right to left. Chase, any final words before we get started?
I think that a quick start, I also want to add that to my keys for these Lady Buffs. If they can get off to a quick start here, which they did not the last time these two teams played, I also think that'll be something that'll help them down the road.
Again, no Sanaya Morrison starting for the Will Rogers Lady Ropers tonight. It is Lindsay Overstreet, Anaya Justice, Cadence Young, Elizabeth Clark, and Aaron Gibson, who wore number 33 with the Lady Ropers when they wear their home uniforms. It's 24 when they're in yellow. There's 2 dribbles inside the circle. Ball is up in the air. Tip is won by Rogers, and it is basketball time here in the Heartland. Grabbed by Lindsay Overstreet. She'll hand the ball off to Amaya Justice, and we're back underway. Overstreet right wing. Cross-court pass to the near corner. Snagged by Young. Young feeds inside low post. Dribbling it back outside was Clark. Feeds it back straight away. Lob pass right wing. Wide open 3 by Overstreet right wing. Is too strong. Rebounded down low by Cambry Zoomer. Zoomer wants to push it down the near sideline. Feeds it to the far corner to Alberson back out left wing, driving in. Lesnow contested 2, airballed, and saving it before it goes out of bounds is the Lady Roper. It looked to be Anaya Justice. Feed right wing. Overstreet, popping shot. Long 2 is good. And it's a quick 2-0 lead here for the Will Rogers Lady Ropers, just 40 seconds into the first quarter. And they want to press, and this is where they got McAlester back in Tulsa on January 3rd. Again, 15 first quarter turnovers, and McAlester has an early one here. Stolen at the top of the key by Cadence Young, feeds into the corner, intercepted by Avery Alverson, ahead to Zoomer. Zoomer one-on-one towards the basket, into the lane, right-handed shot is short, and it'll be rebounded and then a quick foul by Rylan Lesnow after the board came from Elizabeth Clark.
A little all over the place here to start early. Haven't really been able to set in. Only a couple of possessions, but an early turnover, as you talked about, that's what got them last time. They're going to have to avoid that here early. They don't want to find themselves in a similar situation down in a similar hole. Oh, we have a travel, yeah. Picked up her dribble and then took an extra step after setting that pivot foot, so McAlester gets it back.
6:48 left to go in the first quarter. The Will Rogers Lady Ropers leading the Lady Buffaloes 2-0. Just getting started here, and again, 1 minute and 15 seconds in. Zoomer on the edge of the circle will navigate herself to the left side and pass it into the corner to Alberson. Alberson lobs it back towards the front court to Zoomer. Zoomer looks inside. No one seems to be open. She backpedals it on up. Overhead pass, angle left to Williams. Williams looks inside, finds a Lesnow. Double teamed in the low post. Spin around jump shot is short. Offensive board, Kaylee Knight. Bounce pass outside, left wing 3. Rimmed out. It was halfway down the hoop from Avery Alberson and just popped out. And still a scoreless game here for the Lady Buffalo so far. 2-0, 6:10 left in the first.
Couple good looks there. You can't be upset.
And a quick steal once again. Rylan Lesnow one-on-one towards the hoop. Left-handed layup is good, and we have a tie game. 6:01 left to go in the first. There's a steal and score by Rylan Lesnow, who's averaging 1.2 steals a game. And second on the team in scoring is there's another steal, near steal by Cambry Zoomer. It'll go into the scorer's table, and it will stay with the Lady Ropers.
Well, defense to offense, that's what I talked about in the pregame, something they'll need to do to be successful, and that's how they get the first points to tie things up here.
checking into the game. I believe that's Kamari Miller. And then we have another steal. Zoomer ahead to a wide open Avery Albertson on an island. Left-handed layup is good. The Lady Buffaloes lead early 4-2 as here's the timeout from Jonah Johnson. 5:43 left in the first. Lady Buffaloes lead 4-2. You're listening to McAlester Lady Buff Basketball here on KNED.
So, checking accounts. There seems like a ton to choose from, right? I was looking for one that didn't charge monthly fees, with bounce protection, and had mobile banking. I found the Bank NA. The Bank NA has been voted #1 for 10 years in a row in the McAlester News Capital's Reader's Choice Awards. The bonus is that they're local, so the money stays in town. Call 918-423-2265 or go in to find what you need in checking options. The Bank NA. Strong, secure, and ready to loan. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
4-2 Lady Buffaloes on top of the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. 5:39 left to go in the first, and as Will Rogers takes it down the floor. Chase, what stuck out to you in the first 2.5 minutes?
Well, so far, the Lady Buffaloes have forced 3 turnovers. They have 3 steals so far in this one. Conversely, Lady Buffs have only turned it over once, and that's converse to an early 2-point lead.
Overstreet jumps inside the lane, tries bounce passing it down low, and here's another steal, the 4th one of the day for the Lady Buffaloes. Taylor Williams with the grab, as Zoomer now takes herself down the floor and stops between the circles once more. Back pedals to the edge of the M, right at midcourt, passes left side to Williams. Williams, shovel pass top of the key. Quick swing to the right wing. Zoomer eyes the rim, drives towards it. Right-handed shot is too strong. As she hits the deck, it's rebounded by the Lady Ropers. Right down the middle of the floor is Young. Young kicks right wing. Drive kick top of the key, quick to the near corner. And Clark traveled along the corner. I'll give the ball back to the black and gold. 4:52 left in the first. Lady Buffaloes again on top, 4-2. After the Lady Ropers scored the first 2 points of the game on a Lindsay Overstreet 15-foot jump shot.
That is now turnover number 6 here for the Ropers, if you combine the McAlester steals.
And McAlester close to a turnover here, but Zoomer is still fighting for it along the near sideline. Zoomer's able to grab it with her heels nearly out of bounds. Saved by, looked like a Lady Buffalo and Taylor Williams, but quickly the other side. That is Rylan Lesnow picking up her second foul with a charge.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy call there. Good job by the defense getting set. Lesnow just went right through her.
The good news for McAlester is when you have to sit Rylan Lesnow, and this is another reason why sometimes they don't start at the same time. If you have one of them get into foul trouble, you can have the other one come in. Bodie Nystrom will check in for Rylan Lesnow. Bodie Nystrom had 12 rebounds against Edison, and the last time these two teams played, McAlester and Will Rogers, she had 12 rebounds in that game too. So she's going to clean up the glass for you.
Yeah.
Lob near corner. Trying to drive in is Young. Young floater is going to be short. Rebounded by, guess who? Bodie Nystrom. Her first one right off the bench. 4:21 left in the first. Zoomer handles the ball awkwardly, lost it, gathers it back. Across the timeline she goes, stops angle right. Further into the corner she goes. She's guarded up well by Young, a moving screen. Bodie Nystrom, all 3 of our fouls so far have been on our players in the post. 2 on Lesnow and 1 now on Bodie Nystrom.
Also, we're not even halfway through the first yet. We're almost there, but 3 team fouls now.
All have been on the Lady Buffaloes so far. We're about halfway through the first quarter, and it's been a defensive battle. Lady Buffaloes leading 4-2, but we mentioned in the pregame, in games where the Lady Ropers have scored less than 50, they have not won a game yet. That shot on the runner is short. It's tipped back outside with the offensive board. Clark, floater from the free throw line, too strong as well, and Taylor Williams has another rebound. 3:52 left in the first. Zoomer gets crossed by Young. A tip pass finds its way to the far sideline where Bodie Nystrom pass to the right front court. I was looking at Coach Bashirs calling out the plays here on the near side. Pass to the left wing. Knight back to the top of the key to Zoomer. Zoomer fakes the pass right, now dribbles right. Finds the lane, goes up for it, and scores! Cambry Zoomer. She shoots, she scores right this way. Miss Zoomer to the charity stripe, and she's now on the stat sheet. Her first 2 points gives the Lady Buffaloes a 6-2 advantage. This trip to the free throw line is brought to you by Big V Feed Center. For your animals' needs plus winter feed booking prices, call 918-426-1951. And Zoomer, nothing but net on the free throw following. And it's 7-2. Lady Buffaloes lead by 5. They've scored 7 in a row since the Lady Ropers went up early 2-0.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say it's a 7-0 run right now.
Young bounce pass, free throw line, Overstreet, dribbles to the right elbow and back pedals out beyond the perimeter. Looks left side, no look pass to the left side, finding Young. Young now law pass to the right wing. Clark takes the right wing 3, too strong. Back iron straight to Knight. Knight's fighting for the rebound now after a Lady Roper was able to get her hands in on it. Now Albertson has it, double teamed, and we'll have a jump ball here That will go to the Lady Buffaloes still with 3:03 left in the first.
Well, they're winning the hustle stats here. They're getting rebounds. They're also forcing steals, and it's a big reason. And they made the one free throw they've shot. The only real damage so far is the early fouls, with 2 on Lesnow and 1 already on Nystrom.
7-2. McAlester has also been handling pressure a lot better than they did, like I said, about a month ago. January 3rd was the last time these two teams played. Again, these two teams played 4 times last year in the regular season. Left wing, Nystrom looks around, so they know plenty of each other. Nystrom hands the ball off to Zoomer. Zoomer splits the defenders, goes up for a runner, and the ball will go out of bounds. Last touched by Lindsay Overstreet. They would have let that go. I think that would have been Lady Roper basketball, but she was kind of, I wouldn't say pushed, but she was moved into that ball right by the L and McAlester along the baseline. So McAlester gets a baseline inbound here. Alberson finds Nystrom. Left block. She's fouled hard, and she'll go to the free throw line. Foul's going to be on number 24. That's Aaron Gibson, and that is the second team foul on the Lady Ropers.
Again, that's kind of what I talked about with Lesnow early. They're going to have to dominate in the paint, and that's what they've done so far. Insert whoever, whether it be Nystrom or Lesnow, and Nystrom answering the call, and now she's got 2 free throws here.
Nystrom, quick shot is good. It's now 8-2. And McAlester has dominated the boards in the last, well, you talk about the game against Edison, it was 47-19. And then when you go back to the game against Will Rogers a month ago, it was 42-30. So they've been a good rebounding team. Nystrom makes both of her free throws. She's a 57% free throw shooter on the season. And McAlester now a 9-0 run. 9-2, 2:35 left in the first. Bounce pass, high post. Overstreet drives. Nice drive towards the rack and scores. It's been Overstreet with all 4 points so far for the Lady Ropers. The offense is going to have to flow through her, and I believe Cadence Young, too, because Cadence Young made a big impact in the second half against Lady Buffaloes as trying to go coast-to-coast with Zoomer, but her pocket was picked into the McAlester cheerleaders. It will stay with the Lady Buffaloes baseline. 2:20 left in the first and a 5-point lead.
We'll also say that bucket ends what was a 5 straight missed field goal drought as well.
Bounce pass inside and a wide-open missed shot by Bodie Nystrom off the left block. As quickly to the other side, Overstreet goes up for a left block too. She is fouled and she'll go to the line as the shot won't fall, but she'll try to do it the hard way.
They get Taylor Williams on that? They did.
So all 4 McAlester fouls now on post players. Again, 2 on Lesnow, 1 on Nystrom, 1 on Williams.
That'll be something to watch as this game goes along. It gives you a little bit less flexibility on who you can circle in and out of that spot, especially if things start to get a little bit dicey here late in the game.
Overstreet's first free throw is no good. Again, we were talking about how good of a free throw shooting team the Lady Ropers typically are. They were 20 of 25 back on, what was a Friday, January the 3rd. And then last year, at one point, they went 18 of 18 from the free throw line in one of their 4 games. Second free throw is made, so they split the trip, and it is now 9-5. Coach Bashirs does call a timeout. 2:12 left in the first. McAlester leading 9-5 over the Lady Ropers here on KNED.
At Fenton Nissan, we keep you moving with our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles.
Every pre-owned vehicle receives a 126-point inspection.
We have close relationships with over 20 financial institutions to keep you moving in a new-to-you vehicle of your dreams.
Visit Fenton Nissan for a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, great trade-in values, and the best deal.
Don't forget to tell them Morgan sent ya.
Fenton Nissan is your best deal dealer. Shop us online now at FentonNissan.com.
2:12 remaining in period number 1. The Lady Buffaloes leading 9-5 over the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. Will Rogers wanting to press. Coach Bashirs out of the timeout, seeing that press. No one's guarding the inbounder, Kaylee Knight. They'll get it to Zoomer. Zoomer in the backcourt. Eyeing down Young. Down the near sideline, she zooms past Young. Now lobs it. Low post for an open Taylor Williams, who scores off the left block. One pass to beat the press. A little bit of dribble in there for Zoomer as well, using her speed to her advantage to get past Young. That's not easy to do either. Young, a heck of an athlete. 11-5, McAlester up by 6 again. Right elbow. Lob outside. Young near corner 3 is off kilter. Ball's offensive rebounded in the baseline. Back outside. Another chance at 3. That far corner 3 is airballed by Anaya Justice. Rebounded by Williams, but she coughs it back up on the pass to Zoomer. Back outside, Overstreet with the ball in the front court. About 93 seconds left in the first and a Lady Buffalo 6-point lead. Lob far corner, inside. Up for 2, blocked shot, and Bodie Nystrom says, give me the ball, 2. Hands it back off over to Zoomer, who is right next to her in the paint. Getting long pass, finding its way to Albertson in front of the media table. Albertson dribbles past her defender, stops, bounce pass. Williams, low post, banks it in again. Taylor Williams, a quick 4 points on back-to-back possessions, and it's an 8-point lead for the Lady Buffaloes. 13-5, our largest lead of the game for the Lady Buffaloes. Near corner, Overstreet to the top of the key to Young. Young feeds the right wing and not being able to handle the simple pass in the front court. That was Elizabeth Clark. They'll give the ball back to the black and gold, as we'll have for the first time in today. Aubriana Hammond, the 5-foot senior guard.
A great last few minutes here for these Lady Buffaloes. They have just, as you mentioned, they've really settled down from that early turnover from the press. They've handled the pressure well, and they did a great job that time of letting defenders come to you, finding the open man, and it ended up with Williams getting her 4th point in a row.
Albertson, left front court. Still guarded up pretty well by Justice. She picks up her dribble, looks for an open lady, finds Nystrom, left elbow, hands it back off over to Albertson. Albertson looking for a cutting Nystrom and couldn't handle the ball. She didn't know if she wanted to pass it or not, as she does end up poking the ball loose away from Anaya Justice, but it was last touched by Albertson as it skirts away in the corner. We'll have a side inbound here for Anaya Justice with 36 seconds left in the first and an 8-point McAlester lead at 13-5 here in the first quarter. Overstreet, just about the top of the key. McAlester running out of that 2-3 zone defense that worked really well for him. They even switched it up to a 3-2 every once in a while against the Lady Eagles, I believe, on Friday. Left wing, Overstreet penetrates to the perimeter, tries to get it back outside. Again, just a pass that's not being able to be handled there by Hammond. Gives McAlester the ball back with 20 seconds left in the first. And right now, McAlester, after having 27 turnovers against Will Rogers back in January, they're saying, hey, here's a taste of your own medicine.
8 turnovers in this first quarter for the Ropers.
Wow.
4 of those being steals.
Lady Buffalo has been really good at stealing the ball as of late. 12 seconds left in the first. Nice behind the back dribble by Zoomer. 8 seconds left in the first. Eyes the clock. 5 seconds. Pass right wing to Knight. Got to get rid of it now. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. Get a shot off. They're not going to get it off in time. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. The McAlester Lady Buffaloes, though, lead 13-5 over the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. You're listening to Lady Buffalo basketball coverage here on KNED.
Don't let heating and cooling issues break your heart this February. At Freeze and Flare Heat and Air, we know there's nothing worse than dealing with an uncomfortable home. Whether you're trying to stay warm on a chilly night or beat the heat on an unseasonably warm afternoon, our expert team is here to make sure your system is running perfectly. Show your HVAC system some love this month, and let us ensure you stay cozy, comfortable, and carefree all season long. We are licensed, bonded, and insured. Mechanical license number 0014445.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester says to all Oklahomans, your voice and your dream to buy a new or used vehicle starts today at Patriot CDJR in McAlester.
Take $17,000 off Ram 1500 trucks or get 0.9% financing for 72 months. Take $15,000 off 2500 Bighorns.
Together, we will make Oklahoma car buying great again.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester. Ram MSRP 57605. Bighorn 76845.
Good first quarter for the McAlester Lady Buffaloes, leading 13-5 over the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. We are beginning the second quarter, just getting it started here as we have a Young pass to the right elbow. Overstreet tries driving, kicks it back outside left wing to Young. Young dribbles up to the high post, back outside with the far corner shot. It's up and airballed. And it'll be rebounded by the Lady Buffaloes as now down the floor will be Zoomer once again.
Taylor Williams, by the way, now has 3 rebounds already.
Left wing, backdoor pass to Zoomer, low post. She gathers it up for a tough 2, hard off the glass, offensive board. Bodie Nystrom says, I got your back, girl. Makes it a 15-5 game, and it's a double-digit lead for the Lady Buffaloes, 15-5. 7:22 left in the first half, again 15-5. The only points scored so far for the Lady Ropers have come from Lindsay Overstreet, who has all 5. Pass far corner, quick pass to the right wing. Penetrating to the low post. 2-pointer is up. Air ball rebounded by Williams. She's got another one. Williams on the season averages 3.1 rebounds per game, and that is now her 4th.
Playing great defense, and they're winning the rebounding battle. Same thing they've done consistently this year.
Lob inside, finding Williams. Right block 2. She'll bank it in again. Taylor Williams looking very solid here on a Tuesday night in McAlester. It is 17-5. Taylor Williams, her career high 12 points, but she's only averaging 3.1 points per game. She's already up to 6.
Early double-double watch? Question mark?
Maybe, question mark. Near corner. Three-pointer in the air. Three-pointer will fall for Ania Olive, the senior guard standing at 5'5". Will Rogers has not been, for the last couple of years, a great three-point shooting team. They were just 14% for three against McAlester back in January. That was 3 of 22.
They're now 1 of 6 today.
17-8 is now the score. McAlester back up by 9. 6:15 left in the half. Zoomer passes left wing to Williams. Williams bounce pass into the paint. Two-pointer is blocked. Nice block. But it looked like number 24, Aaron Gibson. And the Lady Ropers after the board will take it right down the middle of the floor. Overstreet. Bounce pass is late. Two-pointer up and good. Nice drive and dish. Finding Elizabeth Clark off the right block. And it's now a 17-10 game as an inbound gets knocked out of bounds. We got John Homer in the house here.
How's it going?
The legend over here.
I was so locked in, he had to wave his hand next to me. I didn't even see him.
Man, Chase, you grind so hard. The dentist says you do it in your sleep.
But he says it's not good for me. I don't know.
How could it not? 17-10's the score. Zoomer all the way towards the basket. She hits the deck. They're going to say she was just falling off balance as she made her way towards the rim. A block shot leads to a rebound, and now coast-to-coast Overstreet. Too hard off the glass. Williams has a rebound and threw it off of a Lady Roper as she was trying to get elbows flying to get out of that predicament. And his ball, Lady Buffalo, 17-10, 5:37 left in the half. By the way,
I was about to say, I don't know if you mentioned it, but Shiley Mason has checked in.
Mason, Knight, Albertson, Zoomer, and Williams. Yeah, as Knight throws the ball away. Straight over to Overstreet, ahead, two-pointer up, and too strong with the shot as Nia Justice down the low post. Quickly the rebound by Knight, and no harm, no foul there on the turnover. Zoomer, a slow jog across the half-court line, feeds it angle right to Knight. Knight looks inside. Williams is well covered. She's got to get rid of the ball. Gets into the corner to Mason. Mason, a good three-point shooter. Team leading in percentage-wise, 31 three-point percent. Low post, spin around jump shot. And Taylor Williams making it look easy here. 19-10 the score, and she's 4 of 4 from the field.
8 points, 5 boards here in the first half.
Knight swipes the ball loose straight, though, with a bounce to a Lady Roper. Near corner three is up, and too strong. High bounce will find its way into the arms of Avery Alverson, and McAlester forces the Lady Ropers to once again go one and done. 19-10, 9-point Lady Buffalo lead, 4:39 left in the half. Then McAlester working on the right side of the half-court line. Williams with the feed. Angle right, top of the key, straight away three. Zoomer, quick shot falls. Painted gold, Cambry Zoomer. Didn't need time to think about it. You're right down the hoop. 22-10.
She's got 6 early points here, and the Lady Buffaloes, they're just playing outstanding here to get things started. Exactly what they needed after the start they had against this team last time.
So we have a pass that just went airmail into the corner. It'll be a turnover on the Lady Ropers. As slow to get up is the Lady Roper that made the pass Overstreet. Ball back to McAlester again, 22-10. Yeah, for Zoomer, that's her first made three since they beat the Ada Lady Cougars last week. Again, she was 0 of 6 from downtown against Tulsa Edison last Friday. But before that against Ada, she was 7 of 14. Les now inbounds it to Albertson. Les now back to the ball game. 22-10, Albertson trying to take it down the floor herself. Albertson does so and stops right front court. Now restarts to the left wing with the pass to Williams. Williams looks around. Williams is not having a break tonight, by the way. Williams has played that well.
Oh, yeah.
Zoomer feeds inside to Williams. Low post. Makes a move. Shot is up, and she got another one. 5 of 5. Welcome to double digits, Taylor Williams. It's 24-10.
Yeah, that basket is just looking like the ocean right now. She can't miss when she's putting it up.
And the Lady Ropers just throw the ball away. Miscommunication once more. As Anaya Justice was looking for Elizabeth Clark streaking down the far sideline.
10 turnovers now for the Lady Ropers. Conversely, just 4 for the Lady Buffaloes.
24-10, 3:42 left in the first half. And the only difference that we're looking at in terms of roster here for the Lady Ropers, no Sanaya Morrison. I know she's a great player too, but also McAlester was able to force Morrison into foul trouble. She didn't play a whole lot in that game either because she was in so much foul trouble. As Les now wrestles away from a Lady Roper, dishes it down low. Williams misses the shot as the offensive rebound is made by Avery Albertson, and she's fouled on the way back up. So Albertson with a trip to the free throw line to try to cash in this way. This trip to the charity stripe brought to you by Big V Feed Center for your animals' needs, plus winter feed booking prices. Call 918-426-1951. The southpaw bends the knees, first shot in the air, and first shot is good. Albertson, a 53% free throw shooter, has not taken a free throw against Will Rogers yet this year, so that was her first one.
Shiley Mason back in as well for Kaylee Knight.
25-10, Lady Buffaloes on top. Second free throw is good as well. And it's a 16-point lead for the Lady Buffaloes. This is their largest lead that they have had in district play this season. Young passes far corner, Overstreet. Pop-and shot, baseline, too strong. Might have gotten tipped there a little bit by Lesnow. It's an offensive board regardless. Driving in and missing the shot is Clark from inside the lane. Young with another offensive board, and she's fouled about 5 feet from the basket. Foul will be on Taylor Williams.
Yeah, her second as well. So now Lesnow and Williams both with 2. Brody Nystrom, who's on the bench right now, I believe she only has 1.
Still all of our fouls on post players.
Yeah.
Not a foul on a McAlester guard yet. Straightaway 3 by Overstreet, and she's hacked on the arm. I had to say something. The worst of fouls there for a guard on a 3-point attempt. Lindsay Overstreet will go to the line for 3 attempts here.
Much like football, where the cardinal sin, for a quarterback is thrown across your body, for basketball, it's fouling a 3-point shooter. The cardinal sin.
Absolutely. Get Overstreet with 5 points so far. She had the first 5. Her first attempt is no good. Back ironed again. So they're 1 of 3 so far from the line. All free throw attempts from Lindsay Overstreet.
Conversely, McAlester, they've made all 5 of their attempts so far.
Second attempt is good. And Coach Bashirs wants to call a full timeout here before the third attempt. 3:05 left in the first half. The McAlester Lady Buffaloes on top of the Will Rogers Lady Ropers, 26-11. We'll have that third free throw attempt from Lindsay Overstreet when we return on KNED.
McAlester Direct Primary Care offers 24/7 access to your provider, deeply discounted rates on labs and imaging, more time with your provider, same day or next day appointments, and even home visits for a flat monthly membership fee. We now offer hormone replacement therapy in addition to our other services. For more information, please stop by our office, McAlester Direct Primary Care at 6th and Carl Albert, or give us a call at 918-233-6522.
Stipe Law Firm, your first call when the unthinkable strikes for over 80 years. We focus on wrongful death, personal injury, truck and oil field accidents, insurance bad faith, probate, end-of-life preparation, and Social Security disability claims. We are here to advocate for you in all of your legal needs. We are a full-service law firm with over a century of experience representing Oklahomans across the state, professionally and discreetly. We win our cases in courtrooms, not on social media. Call today, 918-423-0421, or go online to stipelaw.com.
3 minutes, 5 seconds remain in the first half, and the McAlester Lady Buffaloes so far have owned this game. 26-11 is the score, and we're about to have our third free throw attempt from Lindsay Overstreet. She is so far 1 of 2 from the line in this trip to the line. On the day so far, she is 2 of 4. She's been the only Lady Roper to take a free throw attempt.
And McAlester defense so far playing great. 4 of 17 from the floor of the Ropers.
And she makes her third free throw. She goes 2 of 3 from the line. Here's a wide open pass to Cambry Zoomer, finds herself into the basket, and she will score. She wasn't even looking at the ball. She was streaking right towards the glass, and the perfect pass, looking like her brother Caden Lesnow, found its way right into her arms in motion. That is unbelievable. 28-12, McAlester on top.
I think Peyton Manning would have been proud of that pass.
With his big old forehead. So travel right inside the perimeter by the Lady Ropers. Yet another turnover. 2:44 left to go in the first half. I want to give a shout out to Michael Stizza. He would not appreciate the Peyton Manning forehead slander right there. Near sideline, Cambry Zoomer. A little hook pass around over to Williams. Across the timeline, McAlester beats the press. Near corner, Lesnow falling backwards. Has her pass tipped straight to a Lady Roper. Leaving it ahead over to Young. Young now in transition, 2-on-3, doesn't have the numbers. Drives, stops, waits. Feeds it to a trailing Lady Roper left wing. Cross-court pass to Overstreet. Straight away, 3 is in the air and short. Missed a shot by, that one was Kamari Miller.
Rebound number 6 as well for Taylor Williams.
2:15 left in the half, and she already has 10 points, just 2 points away from tying her career high. Mason looking inside, and we have another offensive foul here on the Lady Buffaloes, and that will be on Rylan Lesnow. That is her third. The good news for McAlester is they haven't really needed Rylan Lesnow yet, but you never know if the Lady Ropers can get hot again. They were averaging just a month ago 63 points per game.
Yeah.
You don't want to be able to bank on the fact that they're going to be this inefficient all night long.
That's why it's a good thing they've built up the lead that they have so far here in this first half.
2:04 left in the half. Again, we mentioned the Lady Ropers and McAlester played 4 times last year. They split. McAlester won the first 2 in non-district play. The 2 wins that Will Rogers had were in district play. Just the worst.
Yeah.
Driving in Overstreet. Back outside, wide open left wing three on the way by Olive. She made one earlier, misses that one. Good box out by Mason, allows for Albertson to get the rebound near the corner. 1:40 left in the half. That's good teamwork there by the Lady Buffaloes. Zoomer down the middle of the floor, passes angle left to Williams. Williams looks back inside, finds a Nystrom who's cutting towards the basket. Jump ball will be called. It will stay with Lady Buffaloes.
Yeah, that was good defense that time to prevent the layup even getting off, but that does favor McAlester, so really no harm, no foul there.
Mason will inbound, ride the glass. Mason looks, gets it inside, into traffic. It's tipped around, finding its way over to Taylor Williams. Her shot is blocked. Offensive board, Nystrom. She can't get it to go. Ball once again out of bounds. Last touch by a lady in gold and not the white and gold. We're talking about the gold and blue. Plenty of 24 karat magic stuff going on right now. Baseline, Mason looking, can't find anyone. Tries to get it over to Albertson once again. Tipped out. And the far side official says that it will stay with McAlester. So now Mason's just been moving her way down the baseline. Now she's in the corner. More of a side out than a baseline inbound here. Mason finds Nystrom baseline. Nystrom looks to a cutting Albertson inside the paint. Threw it off the bottom of the backboard. She was pushed, no foul. Offensive rebound and a jump ball called here as now Williams got kind of popped in the mouth there after she grabbed the ball too. There have only been 3 fouls in the Lady Ropers. McAlester fans are kind of getting a little bit upset now because it's been a foul count of 7-3.
Yeah, it also looked like she got shoved in the back on that layup attempt that time, but no call.
Outside, Overstreet takes a right wing three and too strong with the shot. Coming down with the rebound, Cambry Zoomer. Zoomer trying to get around the baseline, and there will be a foul called here. This one will be on number 22, Ania Olive. That is only the second team foul on the Lady Ropers. 1:05 left in the half. Mason inbounds to Williams. Williams back to Mason. Mason says, okay, I have a wide open lane. I'll take it down the middle of the floor. Uncontested. She'll stop, pick up her dribble, pass left wing to Nystrom. Nystrom looking and throws it off the side of the backboard, looking for a cutting Zoomer towards the basket. Just unlucky pass there for Bodie Nystrom. As here we have a top of the key dribble. Now Overstreet down towards the low post, and what a move.
Yeah.
Lindsay Overstreet now up to 9 points. 9 out of the 14 for the Lady Ropers on a little granny shot all the way back down by her knee. She let go of that. And here's a push down to the floor. Cambry Zoomer will be fouled. The third team foul on the Lady Ropers.
The Ropers, though, now 5 of 23 from the floor. McAlester has just done an outstanding job playing defense and very much limiting second chance opportunities as well.
McAlester doubled the score of the Lady Ropers right now, wanting to end the first half strong. 28-14. Zoomer gets the inbound. Gets past Young down the near sideline. 29 seconds left. Backpedals, passes angle left. Nystrom looks inside. Finds Williams, low post. Williams, spin around, jump shot, mid-range, won't go. A little short. A little bit of a heat check there for Williams as well after she made her first 5 in a row. Down the floor, down inside. Clark too strong with a shot from the right block. Offensive board, Cadence Young ripped it away from Williams. Now that missed shot leads to a Nystrom rebound. 7 seconds left in the half. Zoomer sees it, stops right wing. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. To Albertson, left wing. Shot at the buzzer, too hard off the glass. And that will be the end of the first half. The McAlester Lady Buffaloes, all in all, very solid first half. They lead the Will Rogers Lady Ropers behind stellar defensive play and a heck of a first half from Taylor Williams. 28-14 is our score. We'll be back in just a moment here on KNED.
Running into an old friend is nice. Running into a total stranger, well, not so good. Now, you don't need help from Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop for those greetings with friends, but if you have one of those unwanted encounters with a stranger, give Buck Wilson a call at 918-423-3161. They are expert craftsmen, specialists. They can straighten out your situation. Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop, 103 East Oklahoma, McAlester. Again, call 918-423-3161.
Now we celebrate.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. From now until the end of January, we are celebrating 10 years of serving and being a part of your community. We'll be running some of our biggest sales and service specials ever, so if you need a vehicle for the family, a truck for your business, or some economical transportation, we have it for you. So come make it happen at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula at our 10-year anniversary sale.
So, checking accounts. There seems like a ton to choose from, right? I was looking for one that didn't charge monthly fees, with bounce protection, and had mobile banking. I found the Bank NA. The Bank NA has been voted #1 for 10 years in a row in the McAlester News Capital's Reader's Choice Awards. The bonus is that they're local, so the money stays in town. Call 918-423-2265 or go in to find what you need in checking options. The Bank NA. Strong, secure, and ready to loan. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Fenton Nissan, we keep you moving with our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles.
Every pre-owned vehicle receives a 126-point inspection.
We have close relationships with over 20 financial institutions to keep you moving in a new-to-you vehicle of your dreams.
Visit Fenton Nissan for a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, great trade-in values, and the best deal.
Don't forget to tell them Morgan sent ya.
Fenton Nissan is your best deal dealer. Shop us online now at fentonnissan.com.
Welcome back to the MAC as the McAlester Lady Buffaloes, pretty much a dream of a first half, 28-14 over right now the number 4 team in the 5A4 standings. And McAlester trying to continue their ascension up the 5A4 standings. Again, they got up to number 7 after a win against Tulsa Edison last Friday. If they can win this one today, then they will be tied with Tahlequah for number 6. And guess who is on the schedule for the last game of the regular season? Tahlequah. So there's still a lot of room for McAlester to be able to move their way up in the standings. If they can get this win here tonight, that's a good step that way. Right now, they're in a good position, up 14, 28-14, double the score of the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. Let's look at how we got here with your first half stats brought to you by First Realty, 602 South 2nd Street, McAlester. Call 918-423-3122 or visit first-realty.net.
For more than 50 years, First Realty has helped the residents of McAlester and the surrounding area with their real estate needs. Whether residential or commercial, First Realty will guide you through the process of buying or selling your home or business. You can view our property inventory online at first-realty.net. We update our listings daily. And don't forget, if you're into pickleball, the Pickle Palace is open. If you have questions, give us a call at 918-423-3122.
All right, Chase, let's look at our first half stats.
Yeah, Brandon, let's go ahead and get started with what may be a surprise for some of those listening at who's at the top of the scoreboard right now. Right now, it's Taylor Williams. She's got 10 points, 6 rebounds as well. She's 5 of 8 from the floor, the best shooting, the best percentage, and the most points and rebounds on the floor. Right behind her, Cambry Zoomer. She's got 8 points, shooting 3 of 8 from the floor. She's 1 for 1 from 3. She's also knocked down her only free throw she shot. She has 2 rebounds. She has a steal as well. I also should add in that Williams also nabbed a steal. Alberson, she's gotten 4 points. She's 1 of 3 from the floor, but she's 2 of 2 from the free throw line. She's got 4 rebounds as well. She's got a steal to go along with it. And Bodie Nystrom, she's got 4 points, 5 rebounds, also has a block. And then Rylan Lesnow, she hasn't played a lot here early because of the early foul. She has 3 fouls in this first half, just 2 points on 1 of 3 shooting, and she has not been able to yet grab a rebound, but she does have a steal. And I believe the only other stat here is Kaylee Knight, who has 1 rebound. So that is the individual side.
You missed one stat. An unbelievable pass from Rylan Lesnow in stride to a not-looking Cambry Zoomer. At what point is it not skill and it's just pure luck?
I don't know, but that was one of the better passes that you're going to see one-handed, and she's left-handed. Or no, she's right-handed.
She's right-handed.
So either way, no matter what hand she's using, from this near side of the court to the opposite side of the paint on that left block, just a perfect pass in stride. You don't see that a lot at the high school girls level.
Well, everyone was like, oh, no, because I saw that Zoomer wasn't even turned around to look at the ball, and then all of a sudden she looks at her left and it's on her hip. So that was pretty nuts. On a bounce, too.
So, you see, I actually got that confused with the other pass you were talking about. I thought you were talking about the one from Zoomer from midcourt with a one-handed pass that landed on the other side going down the lane. But yes, that was a great pass as well. As you mentioned, looking a lot like her brother on that one. And that's kind of the thing, not to get too much on the football side of it, but for quarterbacks, they call that kind of anticipating the route. You throw it where the receiver is supposed to be, and that's exactly Lesnow threw it in the perfect spot where only her girl could get it, and we ended up scoring there. That was a great pass. We've been treated to some good passes so far here early.
Absolutely. Leading to McAlester up by right now the score 28-14. Let's look at our team stats.
So the team stats, the Lady Buffaloes, they're shooting 11 of 26. That's good for 42% from the floor, but a lot less threes today. They've only shot 2 3-pointers, and they're 1 of 2. That's good for 50%. They also have made all 5 of their free throws. Conversely, the Lady Ropers, they are just 5 of 25 from the floor for 20%, 1 of 11 from 3, which is a 9% clip, and they are 3 of 5 from the free throw line. So they've shot the same amount of shots, but they've missed 2 more where the Lady Buffs have made all of theirs. And the free throw numbers might be a little bit closer than you think, but the Lady Buffaloes still lead that. They're being out-rebounded on the offensive side 3-5, but overall they're winning the rebounding battle 18-14. They're really the only battle they're losing right now is the foul side of it, and it's 7-5 so far here through this first half. But as for steals, the Lady Buffaloes have 4 steals, and they have just 5 turnovers, but they've also forced 11 turnovers against these Lady Ropers, and that has been the biggest difference that has led to this 14-point differential.
Because we mentioned the reason why McAlester lost their game against Will Rogers, pure and simple, were turnovers. You had 27-15, and they have flipped the script. It's now 11-5. So if you're looking at the second half, how can McAlester maybe expand on their lead or keep it where it's at and finish this game with a dub?
Well, foul trouble now goes under the microscope a little bit more with Les now picking up that third there late in the first half. But you've still got Nystrom with just the 1 foul, but Taylor Williams has 2. So if you get either one of them, if Williams grabs her third or if Nystrom quickly picks up 2 or 3, you could find yourself in a hairy situation. But if they can stay out of foul trouble, they can just continue to do what they do, because you really don't need to switch up anything defensively. You're playing great, you're forcing misses, and you're crashing the paint. You're not giving up second chance opportunities. If they can continue to do that, I think they're going to come out with, what would this be, win number 4 in a row?
This would be number 3 in a row, but it would be 5 out of their last 6 games they would win at that point. So one thing I do want to add, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I would expect Will Rogers to maybe be a little bit more aggressive with their press in the second half, because only one person had 2 fouls for Will Rogers in the first half, and that was not a starter. So they know that they can work a little bit more without worrying about getting into foul trouble. So McAllister's going to have to handle that pressure just about as good as they held it in the first half, because Will Rogers pressed for most of the first half.
Yeah, and we thought kind of early that maybe it was a here we go again situation, as the Lady Buffaloes turned it over very quickly to start that game when that press came in. But they were able to react from it and resettle themselves in very well. And as you mentioned, I do expect there to be a little bit more pressure, but obviously I would think that they know that. They talked about that at halftime, and hopefully they're ready for the task at hand.
Okay, so at the end of the first half, the McAlester Lady Buffaloes lead the Will Rogers Lady Ropers 28-14. We'll have second half action coming up in just a moment. You're listening to McAlester Lady Buff Basketball against Tulsa Will Rogers here on KNED.
Don't let heating and cooling issues break your heart this February. At Freeze and Flare Heat and Air, we know there's nothing worse than dealing with an uncomfortable home. Whether you're trying to stay warm on a chilly night or beat the heat on an unseasonably warm afternoon, our expert team is here to make sure your system is running perfectly. Show your HVAC system some love this month, and let us ensure you stay cozy, comfortable, and carefree all season long. We are licensed, bonded, and insured. Mechanical license number 001444485.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester says to all Oklahomans, your voice and your dream to buy a new or used vehicle starts today at Patriot CDJR in McAlester.
Take $17,000 off Ram 1500 trucks, or get 0.9% financing for 72 months. Take $15,000 off 2,500 Bighorns.
Together, we will make Oklahoma car buying great again.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester. Ram MSRP 57,605. Bighorn 76,645.
McAlester Direct Primary Care offers 24/7 access to your provider, deeply discounted rates on labs and imaging, more time with your provider, same day or next day appointments, and even home visits for a flat monthly membership fee. We now offer hormone replacement therapy in addition to our other services. For more information, please stop by our office, McAlester Direct Primary Care at 6th and Carl Albert, or give us a call at 918-233-6522.
Second half begins now. The McAlester Lady Buffaloes up 28-14 over the Tulsa Will Rogers Lady Ropers. We are now switching sides. McAlester will be shooting on the left side of the half-court line, and the Lady Ropers on the right. Again, for those just now tuning in on radio, the Lady Buffaloes wearing their home white uniforms, gold numerals on the front and back. For the Will Rogers Lady Ropers, gold on gold, blue numerals on the front and back, and their Will Rogers logo on the front. Let's now starting off the second half as Zoomer quickly goes towards the rim, too hard off the glass with a shot. And there'll be a rebound out in the corner, nearly by Williams, but she swipes it to a Lady Roper. Now they move down the floor. Knight fouling number 2, Anaya Justice, on her way down the floor. So that gives us a chance to be able to tell you who's on the floor for the Lady Buffaloes. We have Taylor Williams, Cambry Zoomer, Kaylee Knight, Avery Albertson, and Bodie Nystrom on the floor for McAlester. Again, Lucknow did have those 3 fouls in the first half. So McAlester with a 14-point lead. Well, now it's down to a 12 as there's a quick drive to the basket and scoring Lindsay Overstreet with the right hand. She's into double digits. She has 11 out of the 16 points for the Lady Ropers. McAllister's thinking they have a little bit of a cushion here where they don't have to play Lucknow just yet. Right wing, Nystrom with the basketball. Starts her dribble, passes straight away to Knight. Quick swing to the left wing. Thought about the 3 with Zoomer. Into the paint she goes. 2 is wildly off as she hits the floor again. Rebounded by the Lady Ropers. Overstreet down the far sideline with a pass, finding its way to Justice in the corner. Across the paint, long 2 from the baseline is missed. Zoomer's got the rebound, mid-post area. Down the floor, head over to Albertson on a perfect pass. She'll wait for her offense. She dribbles it outside the perimeter. Thought about setting up left wing, but now will take it to the top of the key. Bounce pass left wing. Nystrom looks. Tried finding Williams. She was covered up well. Pass back out top of the key. Swing pass right wing, Albertson. Everything's covered inside the perimeter. 1 dribble, cross-court pass to Zoomer, left wing, spot up, long 3, too strong. Knight grabbed the rebound. She was pulled back, and they're going to say it was also last touched by Knight? Once she was pulled, that would be a horse collar foul in football, and then it was last touched clearly by a Lady Roper. I don't know what the view was there.
That's brutal. That is brutal.
Right in front of the official. Long 2 is up by Knight, I believe, and that's going to be too strong as well. Nystrom has the rebound. But, yeah, I don't know what we were looking at there. There's a pass that's tipped out of bounds. It's touched by Elizabeth Clark. And once again, Lady Buff basketball baseline inbound.
I think, and I don't want to get too much on this, but I think there's a couple here that we feel like maybe should have gone the other way in the favor of the Buffaloes.
Alverson looking. Nothing there. Still looking. Needs to now out it. We'll get it to the right elbow. Pop and shot by Nystrom is in and out. And a rebound by Clark. As the Lady Ropers once again down the floor. McAllister has not scored yet in the third quarter. 6:13 left in the third. Popping with the left elbow 2, airballed, and no one's going to be able to save that shot. Up with the 2 is Lindsay Overstreet, just could not make it fall.
6 of 29 from the floor now, Lady Ropers. They've just have not been able to find it from really anywhere on the floor.
Quick percentage there. That is 21% from the field. Zoomer stopping, right elbow. Hit from behind. No call there. And that was last touched by Knight. It'll be McAllister giving the ball over to the Lady Ropers. She was hit from behind. She stopped about 2 feet in front of the three-point line. Wasn't blocked, but it did touch Knight regardless. Pass that to the left wing to Young. Young, law pass between the circles. Another rainbow pass finding its way now to the baseline. Overstreet back out top of the key. Trying to drive into the paint. 2 pointers up and hard banks in for Anaya Justice, and it's down to a 10-point McAllister advantage, 28-18.
Yeah, the Lady Buffaloes offensively, I know we talk about maybe some missed calls, but they're taking some uncomfortably awkward shots so far.
Zoomer, no-look pass baseline, found Taylor Williams. She never took her eye off the rim. Found Williams wide open baseline, and just in, a little over 16 minutes, 18 minutes, Taylor Williams has tied her career high. She's up to 12 points. 5:15 left in the third. We mentioned her growing confidence every single day. Man, she has been on fire today. Low post back outside, straight away. Driving, stopping, free throw line jump shot is missed by Overstreet. Ball's knocked loose, taken back by the Lady Ropers. That shot is missed as well. Offensive board again, 2-pointers up and good. Look like there's some pushing and shoving there in the paint too. That too is going to be made by Erin Gibson, her first bucket of the day.
That last bucket by the Lady Buffaloes, though, that's the offense that has been the most successful for them. Zoomer driving and dishing to the open player.
Zoomer backs on up beyond the perimeter. Cross-court pass. Dangerous. Young swatted it. Young towards the ball. Young towards the right block. She is going to be fouled on the wrist by Avery Albertson down the low post. Cadence Young to the charity stripe for 2 attempts here.
Well, this one has picked up a little bit back and forth. We've gotten a little bit of a quicker paced game here in the third.
I think that's what the Lady Ropers want right now. That's going to be the second one on Albertson. And she's the only guard with any fouls here for the Lady Buffaloes. First free throw is good. Coincidentally, both of her fouls have been on shot attempts. One on a 3 and the one on a 2. Zoomer's going to get her first seed of the day. Rylan Luss now checking in. McAllister needs some post presence, and Coach Bashir says this is the time to pull the trigger.
And now you've got to see who is going to step up here and be the main ball handler, because it's mainly Zoomer.
Second free throw good as well, and this 14-point lead for McAllister at halftime has evaporated down to an 8, 30-22. Luss now down the floor, stopping. But expected Overstreet to be right on her hip, was not there. Passes to the left wing to Knight. Knight, one dribble, looks inside, finds Nystrom, low post. Turnaround jump shot is not blocked, a foul. Nystrom to the free throw line here. This trip to the charity stripe brought to you by Big V Feed Center. For your animals' needs plus winter feed booking prices, call 918-426-1951.
And this slows the game down a little bit more. What has now become a single-digit game can be moved back to double digits, and the clock stops. And
as Nystrom does hit the first free throw, again, a 57% free throw shooter. She was 1 of 4 from the line against Will Rogers back in January. She was 1 of 2 from the line against the Lady Eagles back last Friday. As right now, she is 3 of 4. She misses the second free throw, and that is McAllister's first miss from the line tonight. 9-point McAllister lead, 31-22, about midway through the third quarter. Pass high post just beyond the three-point line, just in front of it. Now to the baseline with a pass, quick passing to the long two area just beyond the left elbow, and it is sunk by number 32, Kamari Miller. That is her first basket as well, and it's now all of a sudden a 7-point game. They've cut that deficit in half from 14 at halftime. Alverson down the floor with the left hand. Stops at the left wing, reverses, passes right wing to Knight. Knight handles the ball, takes the pass right, still guarded up well by Overstreet, lobs it between the circles to Williams. Left wing to Alverson. Alverson, entry dribble, inside, takes a bump, blocked shot, and it'll be rebounded here by the lady that blocked the shot, Overstreet. 3:33 left in the third. Down the floor, Overstreet, jump stops in, back outside, left wing three in the air. That one's good. Kamari Miller makes the three. She just made a 2 from just about 3 or 4 feet from that area, and that has cut it to a 4-point McAllister lead. Lady Ropers furious here in the third quarter. They're down by 4, 31-27. We'll take a 60-second timeout and be back. 3:24 left in the third on KNED.
Stipe Law Firm, your first call when the unthinkable strikes for over 80 years. We focus on wrongful death, personal injury, truck and oil field accidents, insurance bad faith, probate, end-of-life preparation, and Social Security disability claims. We are here to advocate for you in all of your legal needs. We are a full-service law firm with over a century of experience representing Oklahomans across the state, professionally and discreetly. We win our cases in courtrooms, not on social media. Call today, 918-423-0421, or go online to stipelaw.com.
Running into an old friend is nice. Running into a total stranger, well, not so good. Now, you don't need help from Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop for those greetings with friends, but if you have one of those unwanted encounters with a stranger, give Buck Wilson a call at 918-423-3161. They are expert craftsmen, specialists. They can straighten out your situation. Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop, 103 East Oklahoma, McAlester. Again, call 918-423-3161.
3:24 remaining in the third quarter, and Chase, you mentioned as soon as we went to commercial break, what kind of a run has it been starting the third for the Lady Ropers?
Yeah, the entirety of this third quarter, it's been a 13-3 run here for the Lady Ropers, and that's what's cut this deficit down to 4 when they were down by 14.
31-27 the score. Again, they only scored 14 first half points. They've already scored again 13 the first 5, and they could have 15 here. There's another steal, 2-pointer up and made by Lindsay Overstreet, and it's down to a 2-point game. And the pass is knocked out of bounds quickly as McAllister not rolling with Zoomer right now. They have less now. Nystrom, Alverson, Knight, and Williams on the floor. As Alverson does beat a press across the half-court line, she goes, stops, nearly traveled between the rings as she caught it on her left hip. Bounce pass left wing to Williams. Williams eyeing inside the perimeter, almost stolen at the top of the key by Justice, finds his way to Lesnow. Right wing to Alverson. Quick swing to the left wing, looking inside. Alverson was guarded up well by Young. Swing out top of the key. Nystrom looks around, passes right wing.
Lady Ropers are playing really aggressive here, which leaves them susceptible to the backdoor cut. Let's see if the Buffaloes try that at all.
Man-to-man, pump fake and drive. Bodie Nystrom fouled on the shot attempt. She'll go back to the line.
I swear Kaylee Knight could hear me. She backdoor cut as soon as she made that pass right after I said that.
That's going to be Aaron Gibson's second personal foul. 2 team fouls on the Lady Ropers. McAllister's 14-point lead has been cut down to 2. And Nystrom trying to expand this lead here. Her first free throw is good. She is 4 of 5 from the line tonight, up to 6 points. Averaging 7.6 points per game on the season. This trip to the charity stripe brought to you by Big V Feed Center. Nystrom's second attempt is no good, though. Rebounded down the low post. They throw it ahead. It's A little bit off kilter for Lindsay Overstreet, but she's able to grab it before Lady Buffalo can get to the rock. Young on the white line in the front court, mainly being left alone. Pass to Overstreet. 3-point game. Top of the key. Lob outside. Near corner. For the tie. It is airballed way too strong. Good box out by Nystrom. Leads to the Knight rebound. Still a 3-point McAlester lead. 2:08 left in the third quarter. Alberson dribbled the ball off her foot, trying to go behind the back, and it's intercepted, stolen. Now down the floor. Young for two. Young up and scores and one. Foul on Avery Alberson, who does not ever get into foul trouble. Well, before you can even blink, she's up to 3 fouls now. And a chance to tie the game for the Lady Ropers. Cadence Young, who is a second-half star, second-half hero for the Lady Ropers back in January, starting to emerge here in quarter number 3.
I wonder how much longer Zoomer is going to sit on the bench. Being the main ball handler, you can tell they're missing her right now on the floor.
Yeah, she didn't really sit the entire first half, and we have a tie game now. All of a sudden, Young with 4 of these second-half points. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. We're knotted up now, 32-all. Down the near sideline. Alberson in trouble. Double team. Tries finding Knight. Does so with a strong bounce pass to the left wing. Knight reversed direction. Lost the ball. Ball's in the circle. Knight's got the ball, but not before a grab and a timeout called by Jonah Johnson, giving Will Rogers the ball after this break. 1:42 left in the third quarter. We're knotted up 32-32 here on KNED.
Now we celebrate.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. From now until the end of January, we are celebrating 10 years of serving and being a part of your community. We'll be running some of our biggest sales and service specials ever, so if you need a vehicle for the family, a truck for your business, or some economical transportation, we have it for you. So come make it happen at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula at our 10-year anniversary sale.
1:42 remaining in the third quarter as the McAlester Lady Buffaloes led 28-14 at halftime. The Lady Ropers have scored more points in the third quarter than they scored the entire first half. Again, that has now been a 18-4 run for the Lady Ropers here in the third quarter. Lady Buffaloes break out of the timeout. Still no Camry Zoomer when McAllister's been struggling taking care of the basketball here in the past 2 or so minutes.
I think Brashears is trying to get to the fourth quarter, giving her a rest.
And we have a travel here between the rings. Cadence Young turns the ball over. So that's pretty much a timeout burn there by Jonah Johnson. Yeah. They might need later. He's got 3 left. He did that to be able to she did that to be able to keep the timeout or to be able to keep the possession there on that pivotal play, and they just gave it up really uncontested. There's a lob inside, and McAlester gives it right back. They tried finding Avery Alberson. She created separation on the inbound, kind of pushing Young, but when she came back towards the ball, the pass was too high for her.
It's like the pressure that they dealt with so well in the first half, it's like that's just completely gone out the window. They have not had an answer for this pressure here in the third quarter.
Inbound, Justice lobs it outside. And this is the lady that's been strong from three-point land. Miller takes a long 2 off kilter, rebounded by Lesnow down the low post. We're still tied up 32-32. 1:24 left in the third. Alberson. Slow jog across the half-court line. Her pass is tipped straight to Williams on a bounce. Williams left wing in trouble. Feeds it tonight between the rings. McAlester really hasn't gotten off a lot of shots here in the third quarter, it seems like, though, too.
A lot of turnovers this quarter.
Pass to the top of the key, now to the left wing. Knight looking inside, finding Alberson. Alberson low post. Reverse layup hit the bottom of the backboard. It's pinballing off of Lady Buffaloes. Taken back in the corner by Alberson. Alberson feeds down low. Quick 2-pointers up, and there's a new career high for Taylor Williams. She's got 14. The Lady Buffaloes have a 2-point lead, 34-32.
Much needed here. Now, if you can go into the fourth up by any points, I think that's a win with how this quarter's gone.
Off a screen, right wing. Overstreet being bounced by Lesnow. 2-pointer up, in and out. Offensive rebound. 2 back up is not good either, but we do have a foul from behind. I think this one will be on Shiley Mason, and it will be. It's only her first, team 4th, so if McAlester fouls one more time for the rest of the third quarter, we're going to be having a Lady Roper go to the charity stripe.
I've meant to ask you, what are your thoughts on that rule change that's now in year number 2?
I like it.
I do too.
I actually like it quite a bit. And I justice at the charity stripe. Excuse me, that's as the first free throw is made. That's number, I think that's 24. That would be Aaron Gibson. And kind of hard to tell there for the back. Second free throw as well is missed. McAlester still with the lead. There's a push in the back. And that'll be on Lindsay Overstreet as a nice box out by Lesnow led to that push by Overstreet. That's only her second, though. She's going to be in good shape for the fourth quarter, who leads the team for the Lady Ropers with 13 of those points. Williams has the inbound. She has not started her dribble. She passes the head over to Knight. Knight now dribbles it across that court line. Feeds to a trailing Avery Albertson nearly in the backcourt. Bounce pass back to Knight. Feeding low post. Lesnow. Turnaround jump shot. Strong. Williams fighting. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Ropers. Kamari Miller couldn't handle the rebound.
Sorry about that, partner. I think they need to try, if they can, hold for this final shot here. Just hold on to that lead. Take some momentum with you into the fourth.
Mason looking. Finding Albertson. Quick popping shot. Three. Almost goes. Little short. Rebounded by Overstreet. A chance for the Lady Ropers to take the lead here. Going down into the mid-range area. Shot is too hard off the glass. Another rebound by Rylan Lesnow with a Lady Roper on her back. Cadence Young had her almost around the neck there. Bodie Nystrom will check in. McAlester still with a narrow 1-point lead, 34-33. Both teams now with 14 fouls. Taylor Williams checks out for Bodie Nystrom. That'll be the third foul on Cadence Young.
I can't imagine Taylor Williams will sit long here in the fourth.
Inbound to Nystrom, 10 seconds. Ahead to Lesnow, 8 seconds. Lesnow 2-on-2 towards the rim. Will score with the right hand. 3 seconds left in the third. Inbound to Overstreet. Three-quarter court shot at the buzzer. Off the front side of the rim. And you can wipe the sweat off your brow. The Lady Buffaloes lead 36-33 as we're in for a wild final 8 minutes here in McAlester. We'll take a break and be back. Put those fours up in the air, Lady Buff fans. You're listening to Lady Buff Basketball here on KNED.
So, checking accounts. There seems like a ton to choose from, right? I was looking for one that didn't charge monthly fees, with bounce protection, and had mobile banking. I found the Bank NA. The Bank NA has been voted #1 for 10 years in a row in the McAlester News Capital's Reader's Choice Awards. The bonus is that they're local, so the money stays in town. Call 918-423-2265 or go in to find what you need in checking options. The Bank NA. Strong, secure, and ready to loan. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Fenton Nissan, we keep you moving with our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles.
Every pre-owned vehicle receives a 126-point inspection.
We have close relationships with over 20 financial institutions to keep you moving in a new-to-you vehicle of your dreams.
Visit Fenton Nissan for a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, great trade-in values, and the best deal.
Don't forget to tell them Morgan sent ya.
Fenton Nissan is your best deal dealer. Shop us online now at fentonnissan.com.
We begin the fourth quarter. The McAlester Lady Buffaloes up 36-33 over the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. On the floor for McAlester, Knight, Albertson, Lesnow, Nystrom, and Mason. Here's a drive to the low post. Back outside for the tie. Far corner three is strong. Rebounded by Albertson down in the low post. Again, McAlester was up by 14 at halftime, and the Lady Ropers were able to bring it back to a tie game at one point. McAlester has since separated it to still a one-possession lead, but a three-point lead. Here's a pass inside from Knight. Lesnow can't make the two in the low post area. Rebounded by Overstreet. She takes it in stride. Excuse me, that is Justice. Justice now with a tough two, won't go. And we have another rebound by Nystrom. She hits the deck and she traveled, but again, she was kind of pushed on that rebound. She had perfect positioning down in the low post area, and when she kind of gets up, she kind of chuckles saying, I don't know why I'm not getting a foul here.
There's been a couple of Lady Buffaloes that have had that reaction tonight. It's been a physical game on both sides.
Olive will inbound, lobs it outside, and towing that far sideline was Justice, but able to stay in play. Pass right wing, Overstreet into the paint. Lost it, stripped by Albertson, stolen by Mason down the low post. We have a double team. We're going to have another jump ball here. This will stay with the Lady Buffaloes. 45 seconds into the fourth quarter.
That's great defense that time. Good job of not fouling, getting your hand in there, knocking the ball loose. And that's what you do when somebody tries to penetrate the heart of a zone defense.
Here's a pass that's intercepted by Overstreet right in the backcourt. She takes it back across that court line. That pass was intended for Albertson. Near corner three for the tie. Back iron. Bounces it outside, right back to a Lady Roper. Taken by Overstreet to the right wing. Driving in, Olive. Around the world, left wing three for the tie. That one's back ironed. Lesnow with the rebound down the low post. She's trying to get out of the way, and we will have a foul called on a Lady Roper. This will be on number 32. That will be Kamari Miller. That is her second first-team foul on Will Rogers. 6:54 remaining in the game. Lesnow inbounds far sideline to Nystrom. Back to Lesnow, who will take it down the floor. And Lesnow could play guard in a whole lot of offenses as well. She's kind of a do-it-all player. Bounce pass between the rings to Knight. Knight feeds it over to Lesnow left wing. Lesnow Kind of looking around. We'll bounce pass it now to Mason straight away. Quick pass to the right wing to Knight. Knight looks around. Knight can't find anyone. Lobs it back out over to Nystrom. Takes it by the edge of the M. That center logo. Dribbles it to the left wing. Bounce pass over to Alberson. Alberson dishes it late to Les now. Fouled? No. Blocked shot down the low post by the Lady Ropers. They had the rebound going the other way. 6:15 left in the game. Near corner handling the pass a little bit awkwardly was Lady Roper. Now to the far corner. Long two is up and banked in. Man, if you step in front of the three-point line, they're really good. Outside, they struggled today, and Nia Justice makes the two, and it's a one-point game again, 36-35.
And what's funny is that's probably a lower percentage shot than the three-pointer.
No joke. Right down the floor, and being fouled is Rylan Less now. And we'll have our first free throws of the fourth quarter. This trip to the charity stripe brought to you by Big V Feed Center for your animals' needs plus winter feed booking prices. Call 918-426-1951. First free throw by Les now is good. It's now up to 37-35. By the way, the foul. Didn't get to see who it was as I was reading off our live read there. Les now second free throw is in the air, and that one is good as well. So back to a three-point McAlester lead, but it's anybody's game here with 5:53 remaining in it. 38-35 in this pivotal District 5A4 matchup.
And offensive rebounds have hurt the Lady Buffs here. Let's see if they can hold strong here in the fourth.
That's a walk, but they're going to count an and one. Whoa. So a chance to tie up the game here for number 23, Elizabeth Clark. I see, I think Rylan Less now down the low post saying, did I see that too?
And with this made free throw, it's now a 24-10 run here in the second half.
38-38. There will be a timeout called here at the scorer's table. No, we'll have a substitution be allowed to come in. Taylor Williams checking in for Bodie Nystrom. 38-38, 5:33 left in the game. Let's now inbounds to Williams' far sideline. Anytime these two teams meet, we're in for a heck of a game, and that is no different here today. Les now driving right side towards the basket. Runs into a Lady Roper, but fouled on the way up again. The offense so far in the last few possessions has been Les now. Is there a little bit of a lane? I'll take it. Whatever happens, happens.
It's almost become now a point of contention. As you mentioned, this is 3 possessions in a row. I think she's either forcing them to make the call or putting them in a position where she has a good look at a layup.
First free throw, though, missed by Les now. Don't be surprised, though, if you see Coach Johnson of the Lady Ropers tell someone that's guarding the low post, stand there. Don't go up and try to contest the shot, as it could lead to a charge who Les now has had one earlier today. She misses both the free throws. That one off the back iron. Lady Ropers with a chance to take, I believe, their first lead of the game. No, excuse me, since they went up 2-0 to start off the game. Overstreet. Ball right wing. Cross-court pass to the left wing. For the lead in the air. Almost banked in. Rebounded by Les now down the low post. Les now being hacked and throws it over to Alberson on a bullet. She recovers it near the paint. Alberson down the floor. Alberson across the half-court line now. Sets up her offense. 38-38, 4:54 left here in this one. Mason looks inside. Can't find anyone. Instead, refers it to the top of the key to Les now. Right wing to Alberson. Overhead pass back to Williams. Swinging it around left wing. Les now looks for an open lady. Well guarded by the Lady Ropers. There's a pass between the rings to Mason to the right wing. Looking inside. Recovering and getting back on her feet there was Ania Olive. Back between the rings. Alberson fakes the pass. Dribbles inside. Banks it in. And the Lady Buffaloes are up 40-38. Avery Alberson with her 5th and 6th points of the game puts McAlester up by 2 just about midway through this final quarter.
And that's exactly how you beat extended man defense. Same thing for if you're doing a backdoor cut if you don't have the ball. Take it to the rim, and you've got a good chance of either getting fouled or getting a look at a layup.
Olive into the corner. Three-pointer by Overstreet's missed. Rebounded by Alberson, high post. Alberson, we'll see if she decides to push it. 3-on-3. She'll wait for her offense instead. Picks up her dribbles, back black line. Overhead pass on a bounce to the right wing. Knight looking around. Lobs over to Mason over her head. Can anyone save it? Mason does so and quickly hands the ball off over to Alberson, and Coach Bashirs will call a timeout with 3:55 left in the game. McAlester leading 40-38 over the Lady Ropers. We'll take a break and be right back here on KNED.
Don't let heating and cooling issues break your heart this February. At Freeze and Flare Heat and Air, we know there's nothing worse than dealing with an uncomfortable home. Whether you're trying to stay warm on a chilly night or beat the heat on an unseasonably warm afternoon, our expert team is here to make sure your system is running perfectly. Show your HVAC system some love this month, and let us ensure you stay cozy, comfortable, and carefree all season long. We are licensed, bonded, and insured. Mechanical license number 001444485.
3 minutes, 55 seconds left in a one-possession ball game. 40-38, the Lady Ropers evaporated their 14-point deficit. Here's a batted on the inbound. Taken, here's for the tie. Layup is good. Made by Anaya Justice, and we're back to a 40-40 ball game. On the inbound, a swiped pass leads to an easy two by Anaya Justice. She's got 6 points, and McAlester has to score. Here's a pass trying to feed it to the left wing over to Mason, and it's off to the right side, straight into the McAlester bench. This is not the time to start turning the ball over. On the floor for McAlester, Alverson, Knight, Lesnow, Williams, and Mason. Justice with the ball right wing. Into the corner to Olive. Excuse me, that is again, I'm looking at their numbers in yellow here. They have the two different numbers here. Kamari Miller wore number 3 back in Will Rogers. She's number 32 today. Justice has it kind of left alone in the front court. Now almost a steal by Albertson, taken it back by Overstreet. Overstreet on the drive, low post, too hard off the glass. Ball's on the floor. Who's got it? And a quick call to jump ball will keep it with the Lady Ropers. As the ball came loose, as we're still trying to see who may have had possession. It would have been Shiley Mason with the take, but the Lady Ropers keep the possession baseline. It's a lob out at the top of the key. Feeding high post. Away from a Lady Roper, back outside into the corner. As Justice gets it back out. Between the rings to Overstreet. 2:55 left in the tie game, 40-40. I don't know the last time we've had a blowout between these two teams. Doesn't matter how good one team is, how bad the other team is, it's always a close game. Overstreet into the corner. Three-pointer for the lead. Justice off the back iron again. Box out. Knight got the rebound. Alverson down the floor, looking ahead over to Lesnow. Lesnow trying to drive. Makes her way towards the paint and is fouled on her way there. That will be team foul number 4 in the Lady Ropers. This is big because in a close game like this, any fouls here down the line now will send McAlester to the line.
And the second part of that equation is knocking down your free throws. Lesnow, she missed both last time she was up there, but now...
they're not calling this one on the shot. They're saying that she was still in the process of her drive. Well, did one official signal free throws and the other one said it's baseline? I think it should be a baseline inbound regardless. Lesnow is setting up like it was free throws. Mason will inbound right at the glass. Mason looking, trying to find Lesnow. It's tipped on the inbound again and stolen. Not almost saving it was Elizabeth Clark. She almost lost control of the ball herself. But she gathers it back, and now it's Lady Roper's turn to try to take the lead. Overstreet. Lobbing inside, two-pointer for the lead is off kilter. Offensive board, put back is no good, but we have another foul here.
Foul's on Kaylee Knight.
And it's going to be on Kaylee Knight, her team second here in the fourth.
Looks like Bodie Nystrom is getting ready to check in as well.
And up to the line, Elizabeth Clark. They try to give her team the lead. First free throw is no good. Rolled around the right side of the rim. Bodie Nystrom in for Shiley Mason. I think we're in for a classic one here. It's been, in the second half, a back-and-forth game. Second free throw for the lead. Got it. And that is their first lead. Will Rogers' first lead since they led 2-0 back in the first quarter. Lesnow retrieves the ball after it went off of her. Takes it quickly across the half-court line with the team down by 1. Alverson left wing. Alverson tries to penetrate the three-point line back outside tonight. McAlster's only scored 12 points in the second half. 2 minutes left in the game. Lesnow backpedals it on up. 2-minute warning here. 1-point game, 41-40. Nystrom pass to the left wing. Nystrom looking inside, trying to work off her pivot foot, throws it inside, tried to find Knight, intercepted by Young. Young 2-on-2 towards the rack. Left hand is way too high off the glass, rebounded by Lesnow, and that keeps the game at a 1-point game. 1:39 left in it.
Yeah, that's a big rebound there. Now you give your team at least a chance.
Alverson to Knight. Knight trying to give it back to the near corner to Alverson. Guarded up well by Overstreet. Tries to create separation, does so. To the baseline she goes. Reverse layup. She's fouled. Avery Alverson to the free throw line here. And that will be team foul number 5 on Will Rogers. McAlester in the bonus for the remainder of the game, where McAlester has the advantage here, though. Only 2 fouls on them in the fourth. Got to foul quite a bit to be able to get Will Rogers into the bonus.
Yeah, and having fouls to give in these kinds of situations is huge.
Albertson's first free throw is made. We're back to being tied up 41-41. And we have a stoppage here.
I guess 23 fouled out. Is that what we're saying? Or
no, because she's staying in. Williams is coming out. Mason is checking in. That's really the only change that we had.
By the way, Albertson, she has 7 points tonight. She's knocked down 3 free throws as well.
And she has given McAlester the lead with ice in her veins. Makes both the free throws. It's 42-41. She's 1 point away from tying her career high. 42-41, 1:19 left in this one. Strap in. Back outside, far corner. Will Rogers with the ball. Long pass is tipped, I believe. No, it was not. Not tipped. It'll be McAlester basketball. So we'll see how much of this is look for the open shot and how much of this is play keep away. Because, again, the second half, McAlester struggled to take care of the ball where they didn't struggle in the first half. Albertson, left front court. Bounce pass, left wing to Lesnow. Lesnow looking, no one's open. She's trying to direct traffic at the same time. Passes between the rings to Mason. Feeds it right wing. Under a minute left. 42-41. Albertson dribbles inside. Stops and is pushed. And that will be more free throws here for Avery Albertson.
Huge. That's huge.
Again, that is the big deal about McAlester being in the bonus here in a 1-point game. Fouls on Anaya Justice, her second. Albertson, the southpaw. First free throw is no good, though.
That's her first miss. She's now 4 of 5 from the charity stripe.
Still going to be a one-possession game regardless, but this can make it a 2-point game, and she got the second one. So she splits the trip to the line. She now has tied her career-high 9 points. 43-41, 50 seconds left. Can McAllister's defense continue to be strong? Overstreet splits the defenders. No, she does not. She's fouled on her way towards the low post.
I like that, though. I think that's a good foul because you stop what would have been a really good look at a layup and you get it before the shot to where you eliminate a possible 3-point play. But I think that was a smart play by Nystrom.
That's only her third, too. Again, still 2 more fouls to give for the Lady Buffalo team. There's a lob out right wing. Miller, the far baseline. Elizabeth Clark lost the ball, but again, another foul here on Albertson. That'll be her fourth. And now McAlester, really no more fouls to give, truly. One more foul will send the Lady Ropers to the free throw line, where historically they have been really good. There's another baseline inbound. Finding Miller. Miller straight away to the left elbow. Off kilter 2, won't go. Tipped around, taken back, offensive board. 2-pointers back up, and we have another foul here on the Lady Buffaloes. This one is not on the shot, though. They're going to call this one off ball on Rylan Lesnow.
Yep.
They're going to say it was on a push on the rebound attempt. Either way, it's free throws here for the Lady Ropers. Just who's going to the line? I know that the official's pointing to the baseline. That doesn't matter, though. There's 5 team fouls on McAlester, so that means free throws here for the Lady Ropers. We have had 3 fouls in the last 30 seconds on McAlester, which has put the Lady Ropers into the bonus. Nearly all, was it all in this possession?
Yes.
Or in the last 2?
All within the last 20 seconds.
They're still trying to give him a side out. That was foul number 5. It should be. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
They're going to let him lob it in. Overstreet is fouled again at the high post area. This one's going to be on Nystrom. Either way, they're going to get free throws here this time. I don't know why they didn't get fouls earlier. Or free throw shots earlier.
I'm not quite sure either. The scoreboard still reads 5.
But that's still 4 fouls on McAlester in the last 30 seconds. Overstreet's first free throw is made, and it's 43-42. McAlester went from 2 fouls on the scoreboard to now that is their 5th and 6th in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's 4 fouls in this possession.
Overstreet's second free throw is made, and it's tied up 43-43 again. Here we go. Nystrom in the backcourt. Who wants to be a hero? Lesnow across that court line, and Coach Mashiers calls a timeout with 21 seconds left in it. And we will take a 30-second break in return. 43-43. You won't want to miss this one. 21 seconds left in a big-time District 5A4 game here on KNED.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester says to all Oklahomans, your voice and your dream to buy a new or used vehicle starts today at Patriot CDJR in McAlester.
Take $17,000 off Ram 1500 trucks or get 0.9% financing for 72 months. Take $15,000 off 2500 Bighorns.
Together, we will make Oklahoma car buying great again.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester. Ram MSRP 57,605. Bighorn 76,845.
For those listening on radio, you heard an Avery Albertson big-time three. Let's see if she has a historic moment here, or who wants to be able to take that shot. It's 43-43, McAlester with the basketball. They have had some trouble with the inbound, though. Les now will do the honors. Shiley Mason, Kaylee Knight, Bodie Nystrom, Avery Albertson all on the floor with them. Tie game 43 all. Inbound to Albertson. 19 seconds left. 18. 17. Swings it left wing to Lesnow. 14. Hands it back off to Albertson. 12 seconds. Backdoor for Lesnow. Poked ball loose out of bounds. Should be McAlester basketball and will be with 9 seconds left. She was open for a split second.
I like that play call. Drew that up for Lesnow. She had a good look. As you mentioned, she was open for a second, but good defense on the recovery there by the Ropers.
Side out, far side, Shiley Mason. Looks, finds Lesnow. Backdoor cut. Over to Albertson. Now down low. Bodie Nystrom got the right block, too, with 4 seconds left. And a timeout called by Coach Johnson of Will Rogers with 3 seconds left. Coach Bashir's drawing up that play like she was Michelangelo, man. 45-43. That was a beauty. That is team basketball leading to a 2-point McAlester lead with 3 seconds on the clock.
That's exactly what I had been saying earlier with the overplaying. Lesnow threw the backdoor pass, and then the defenders collapsed over on, I believe it was Albertson. And she found the wide open Nystrom on the block. I mean, that was just beautiful. That is Coach Popovich with the Spurs type stuff. That was a beautifully drawn up play, and now it's giving him the lead here in the final 3 seconds.
Because everyone's expecting Albertson to go up with the two when you're into the crunch time like that. And then when you give it up, for sure it'll be Lesnow going up with it. And then Lesnow with the perfect feed to a wide open right block two for Bodie Nystrom, who's missed some of those shots today, but she's made the one that matters the most. And now it's 3 seconds away from a big-time upset win for the McAlester Lady Buffaloes.
And the Ropers have to go the full length of the floor here.
McAlester will not guard.
Just do not foul
the backcourt. And before we can inbound the ball, there's a discussion with the scores table. McAlester cannot foul. That's a big point of emphasis here. Do not foul no matter what happens. Inbound to Young, near sideline. They traveled! There's a travel with half a second left! Practically unguarded, a travel by the Lady Ropers. With half a second left, all McAlester has to do is throw the ball away from the hoop. Lesnow looks. It'll be stolen. Tip doesn't matter. There's the buzzer, and there's the win. The Lady Buffaloes, winners of 5 of their last 6. They kick away a comeback from the Will Rogers Lady Ropers, and this time it's McAlester doing the lassoing. They win 45-43, our final, in a thriller here in McAlester. Ladies and gentlemen, Lady Buffalo fans far and wide, grab that brush and paint that win column. Black and gold, a right block two by Bodie Nystrom does it for McAlester, and they will again continue their ascension of the 5A4 standing. It's time to now look at your post-game stats, brought to you by Barlow Built Performance and Automotive, your full-service automotive and transmission repair shop, brake work and heat and air repair, plus we do MIG and TIG welding. We're McAllister's only full-time exhaust shop. From race cars to your grandma's cars, we do it all. We sell tires and wheels. Barlow Built Performance and Automotive, 2201 North Main Street, McAlester. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 918-318-0323. Chase, take it away.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get a look at the top of the scoreboard here. Taylor Williams led the way, as you mentioned, a career high with 14 points tonight. She ended up with 6 rebounds as well. Also had a steal to go along with it. How about Alberson? 9 points tonight, 7 rebounds, 9 and 7 there for the guard. A good game for her. Also had 2 steals tallied in with that. Also Zoomer, who didn't play as much in the second half, she had 8 points tonight. Also had 3 rebounds, had a steal to go along with that. And then Bodie Nystrom had the game winner. She had 8 points on the night to go along with 7 rebounds. Also tallied in a block. And then Les now, who had the early foul trouble, didn't play as much in that first half, played a lot here in the second half, had 6 points to go along with 5 rebounds as well. She also tallied a steal. And then Shiley Mason, she also had, had a rebound in her totals. Now for the team side of it, it was pretty much almost equal for the made shots. The total numbers that were actually put up was a little bit different. McAlester made 16 of 41, which is a 39% clip, and the Lady Ropers made 15 of 57. So the Lady Ropers, they made 1 less shot, but they shot 16 more times. You don't see that often. 1 to 3 from the three-point line for the Lady Buffaloes, 33%. And how about this? The Lady Ropers, you talked about the three-point shooting, 2 of 21 from deep for the Lady Ropers. That is just a 10% clip.
How many long twos did they make? I'm sorry to interrupt, but how many long twos did they make, man?
If you throw in the long twos, they probably have 5 or 6 threes if you just move them back a step.
That's right.
So
that's what's crazy to me.
I know. And then 12 of 17 from the free throw line for the Lady Buffaloes, 71% compared to 11 of 15 for the Lady Ropers, which is 73%. And then the rebounding battle actually ended up being even. It was 31-31. The Lady Ropers dominated the boards on the offensive side. 11 offensive rebounds to just 4 offensive rebounds for the Lady Buffaloes. Fouls ended up being pretty close at the end, 17-15. The McAlester, they committed more. But they also had 5 steals to go along with 15 turnovers is what ended up the night for the Lady Ropers. So what a job by the Lady Buffaloes defensively. But conversely, they turned the ball over 15 times as well. So they were both matched in the turnover department, but they were able to overcome it later on in that game with the Nystrom layup that we talked about. And 1 block to 3 that ended up going to the Lady Ropers. But that is your total stats and what was a 2-point win here for the Lady Buffs.
All right, we're going to try to be back in about 2 minutes here as the McAlester Lady Buffaloes win a absolute classic here against the Will Rogers Lady Ropers in the final 5 seconds. Bodie Nystrom with the winning shot as they, again, improved to 5-11, winners of 5 of their last 6 games. We'll preview the boys when we return. You're listening to McAlester Buffalo Basketball here on KNED.
McAlester Direct Primary Care offers 24/7 access to your provider, deeply discounted rates on labs and imaging, more time with your provider, same day or next day appointments, and even home visits for a flat monthly membership fee. We now offer hormone replacement therapy in addition to our other services. For more information, please stop by our office, McAlester Direct Primary Care at 6th and Carl Albert, or give us a call at 918-233-6522.
Stipe Law Firm, your first call when the unthinkable strikes for over 80 years. We focus on wrongful death, personal injury, truck and oil field accidents, insurance bad faith, probate, end-of-life preparation, and Social Security disability claims. We are here to advocate for you in all of your legal needs. We are a full-service law firm with over a century of experience representing Oklahomans across the state, professionally and discreetly. We win our cases in courtrooms, not on social media. Call today, 918-423-0421, or go online to stipelaw.com.
Running into an old friend is nice. Running into a total stranger, well, not so good. Now, you don't need help from Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop for those greetings with friends, but if you have one of those unwanted encounters with a stranger, give Buck Wilson a call at 918-423-3161. They are expert craftsmen, specialists. They can straighten out your situation. Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop, 103 East Oklahoma, McAlester. Again, call 918-423-3161.
Now we celebrate.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. From now until the end of January, we are celebrating 10 years of serving and being a part of your community. We'll be running some of our biggest sales and service specials ever, so if you need a vehicle for the family, a truck for your business, or some economical transportation, we have it for you. So come make it happen at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula at our 10-year anniversary sale.
All right, welcome back to the MAC. We just finished up with the ladies' game in which McAlester Lady Buffaloes, they won once again 45-43. A very good, close game against the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. Now let's preview the boys and see if it holds a candle to what we just saw. So the McAlester Buffaloes 10-8 on the year, led by second-year head coach Mike Dooney. The game last Friday didn't go the way they wanted it to against the Tulsa Edison Eagles. They lost 70-56. Edison raced out to an 11-0 lead in the first, and the Buffs couldn't come back in a wire-to-wire 70-56 loss. The loss simply came down to shooting. Edison was able to attack the paint well, and it led to 55% from the field. For them to 33% from McAlester. The dominant paint play opened up the outside where Edison shot 38% from downtown to McAllister's 20%. What kept McAlester in the game were free throws. They were 15 of 19 from the charity stripe, while Edison was 13 of 24. So some key performances. Rodney Washington keeps on doing what he does. 27 points on 53% shooting, 7 rebounds, 4 blocks for the freshman. You also had Davian Pouncil with 13 points and 7 rebounds, and Brandon Smith added a 10-piece for the McAlester Buffaloes as well. So if you look at the 5A4 standings for the boys, Tulsa Memorial is alone at number 1 at 9-0, plus 119. Will Rogers currently in the market for hosting a regional. They are 9-2 plus 79. They intend to keep it that way. Their next closest competition is Edison at 5-4 plus 30. McAlester looking to get back into that 3-seed mark. We mentioned it at the girls pregame. If you were at the 3-seed, it looks a lot better for you come regional play than being in the 4-seed. So they can still climb up there with plenty of time left to go, and also taking on Edison at their place on Friday. But this win almost seems like a must-win as you're getting down to crunch time. So again, McAlester at 4th right now at 4-5 plus 2. Edison at 3rd, 5-4 plus 30. But also, you can't discount Tahlequah. Tahlequah's right on the outside next to McAlester. They're also 4-5, but they're -10 in the plus-minus category, and there's still a game yet to be played between the Buffs and the Tigers in the season regular season finale on February 18th. So this is going to be a big-time moment for McAlester. We'll see if they can rise to the occasion against a really good team in the Will Rogers Ropers, who is currently 15-4. They're averaging 57.4 points per game and giving up 50.1 points per game. They are already Sand Springs. They lost to Sand Springs in the Bixby Invitational Championship just by 5 to become runner-ups, and they've also finished 3rd in the Ropers Invitational, where they beat Sepulpa 54-38, lost to 3A number 4 Cassia Hall 54-41, and then beat Edison 55-47. So since they beat McAlester on January 3rd of a final score of 65-63, they have gone 8-3, and one of their losses has been to Edison, which they have already come back and beat them again, and that was for the 3rd place win over at the Ropers Invitational 55-47. So that's really all you need to know about the Will Rogers Ropers. They're going to be athletic. They're going to be tough. If you want to look at the game that we had back on January 3rd, it was a sloppy game for McAlester, as they had 23 turnovers, but they forced 22 themselves. Will Rogers shot 5% better and out-rebounded McAlester by a slim 2-rebound margin. McAlester was down by 20 with a little over 4 minutes left in the game. Then Rodney Washington hit a 3. Yeah, you heard me right, 20. They were down 20 with 4 minutes left. That was McAllister's first make from downtown. And then we all held on to our seats. Rodney scored 23 fourth-quarter points with the help of 4 threes, outscoring the entire Roper team with 19 for the Ropers in the 4th quarter. However, it was just too late. And Will Rogers, the boys, they went 1 of 16 from 3. So neither team shot really well from downtown. We'll see if that changes in a different venue. Let's look at players to watch for McAlester, and a player that's been notoriously really good at shooting threes this year, Brandon Smith.
Yeah, you know, I probably surprisingly not Rodney Washington tonight, but I think it just goes into kind of what we saw last Friday when I was here. That was the second time I got to see the boys in action. Now this is number 3, but it's got to be Brandon Smith for me, as you mentioned. He averages nearly 20 points a game, right around 17, but he struggled a bit in that game on Friday. Did end up with 10 points, but I believe shot around 3 for 16. He was not able to find his shot. It wasn't his night. And I've talked about how this team will go as Rodney goes, but for this team to consistently compete with very talented teams like the Ropers tonight, they're going to need Brandon Smith to score the rock. But everybody has their rough shooting nights, as is basketball. But the important thing is that he can bounce back from it tonight. And I think he's going to at least get the opportunity to do so. And I think if there's anybody that can do it, it's him.
Transitioning right into our keys to the game.
Well, it goes into what I was just talking about for Brandon Smith. It's made shots, finishing around the rim. That was the biggest struggle for these Buffaloes last Friday in what was a 14-point loss. They missed a lot of layups, and too many missed shots against a team that shot over 50% in their outing. That's a recipe for a loss 10 times out of 10. So I'll be interested to see how they kind of remedy that tonight, maybe if they try to get more closer shots or if they shoot more farther out, longer twos or more threes tonight.
All right, so that will do it for our players to watch and keys the game as McAlester is getting ready to do battle with the Will Rogers Ropers. McAlester 10-8 on the season, and the Ropers 15-4. Again, the McAlester Buffaloes, for those listening on radio, wearing their home white-on-white uniforms with the black numerals on the front and back and black McAlester in cursive across the front. For the Ropers, they're wearing their road blue jerseys, blue on blue, with the gold numerals on the front and back and white Rogers across the chest for the Ropers. So, looks like we're just about ready to go here, as we have now 8 minutes on the clock here for quarter number 1. Let's start off with your starting lineup for the McAlester Buffaloes. 1 through 5 looks like this. You have the sophomore forward, number 1, Devion Bickham, who is averaging 6.1 points per game, 6.1 rebounds per game. You also have Brandon Smith, who leads the team in three-point percentage and is Chase's player to watch at 41% from 3, and also, no big deal, 3.4 steals a game for Brandon Smith. Freshman guard number 3, Rodney Washington, leading the team in points per game at 20 performance last Friday against Edison. And rounding out the starting 5 for your Buffaloes, one of the senior leaders on this team, senior guard number 10, Alex Dooney. Now for the Will Rogers Ropers here, as we have number 0, Cameron Hammond, the 5'10" senior. Also number 1, Sean King, the 650-50 split. Can sign with us and pick up great bargains, 1212 South Main McAlester, behind Dollar General. So, as they're about to announce the starting lineups here for the Buffaloes, Chase, any final thoughts you have on this one as we have a condensed pregame show here?
Yeah, looking more just at Rogers here in the pregame warm-ups. It looks like they're going to have size that's going to go and try to rebound the rock a lot, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get a lot of shots in the painted area. So that's going to be a point of contention for me, is seeing how the Buffaloes handle those drives, how they handle rebounding, whether it be offensively or defensively, and just kind of dealing with the pressure that comes with dealing with guys that are as tall as they are. Obviously, you've got Pouncil inside. That'll make things a lot easier for you. And when you've got guys that can jump out of the building, like Brandon Smith and Rodney Washington, that just helps you out even more. And obviously, Phillips and Caven Hill coming off the bench should be a good help for you in that department, as well as Davion Bickham.
All right, before we get started, we'd like to thank our sponsors, not just for tonight, but all season long. Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford, D-Bank and A, Fenton Nissan, Freeze and Flare Heat and Air, Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram McAlester, McAlester Direct Primary Care, Stipe Law Firm, and Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop. Thank you guys for putting us on the air, not just tonight again, but all season long. Of course, our tip-off sponsor here, McAlester Clothing Consignment.
And I just wanted to say something real quick. If anyone was watching the stream, we had a couple issues there just a minute ago. But it looks like we've got everything straightened out. So if you back out and go back in, you should be all caught up.
Well, I don't expect any more problems, sir. So.
Well, I don't expect any more either.
It's your job if we have any more.
Okay.
Buffaloes will be moving the ball left to right across the radio dial, video screen. Ropers will be right to left. Ropers win the tip, and it's basketball time here in the Heartland. As Terrence Buckley Jr. takes it down the floor, guarded up by Alex Dooney. A quick pass to the left, and we are again underway off the screen. Sean King, jump pass to the right wing, finding its way to Crossland. Crossland into the corner, back over to Buckley Jr. Buckley steps back, looks at the three, but instead offers to give it into the corner to Crossland. Back between the rings quickly to Oates. Oates overhead pass, angle left to Titsworth. Titsworth dribbles opposite of a screen and backpedals it on up. And now back to the right wing. Crossland. In 30 seconds gone by on this one possession. We have not had a shot attempt yet by the Ropers. Kind of slowing things down right now. A pump and drive. Buckley Jr. gets it inside. A wide open 2. Leading to an open 2 for Jay Oates. And that's a very successful first 40 seconds there for the Ropers, leading to an early 2-0 advantage. And almost leading to a steal here as Brandon Smith was in front of the scores table, being pressured as he got into the corner of the front court by a couple of Ropers. Pass is tipped out of bounds. Will stay with the Buffaloes. Inbound in the backcourt. Taking across will be Washington. Washington all the way towards the rim. Up for 2. Late whistle there, but he does get the foul call, and he will go to the line for a chance to tie it up. This trip to the charity stripe brought to you by Big V Feed Center. For your animals' needs plus winter feed booking prices, call 918-426-1951. Fouls on Jay Oates. His first, and the guy that had the first 2 points of the game for the Ropers. First free throw, though, back iron for Rodney Washington. He is a 69% free throw shooter. He was 5 of 7 from the line against Edison on Friday, 6 of 7 from the line against Will Rogers back about a month ago. Second free throw is good, and McAllister's on the board. They're down 2-1 to the Ropers. Quickly to get to the other side of the floor. A little more urgency than their last possession. They'll take a right elbow, too, that won't be banked in. Smith is alone for the rebound, and he'll try to push it down the floor himself with aggressiveness. Into the corner to Dooney. Dooney going baseline, stopping low post, double team, feeds it mid-range. Bickham airballed the shot, just left his right hand awkwardly and looks down at it in disgust. To the opposite side, we have a reverse layup that went high off the glass. What a shot by Dakarian Titsworth, and it's a 4-1 advantage now for the Ropers.
Some English there.
No
Nice
joke. Around the world, left wing. Washington grabbed as he was making his way towards the rim. He didn't care. Nothing but a thing. Shrug it off his shoulder. 4-3. McAlester down by 1 now. Quickly going to the rack is King. King pushed out of bounds. I believe this will be on Washington, and it will be. That'll be his first, team first.
We also saw this a little bit from Edison on Friday, very early. Players running back on the outlet after the rebound, which led to some easy layups, but Washington did have to give up the foul there to prevent a score.
Inbound low post. Bigham tries to swat it off of a Roper. Cannot do so. It'll stay with Will Rogers here. Jay Oates was the one looking for it. By the way, Oates is about, and Crossland too, they are a 1-2 dynamite punch down the low post. They have some vertical on them, and they're very athletic. Far corner, open 3 on the way is good. Made by Terrence Buckley Jr. They only made 1 3 back on January 3rd. And there's their first one of the game, just a minute and 45 seconds in. I think we didn't have our first 3 by either team until the fourth quarter back in Tulsa last time. Here's the left wing 3, and right now we're trading them. Rodney Washington with a deep tray from the left side, and it's now a 7-6 game. Really, it's been whatever you can do, I can do better. Lob down low post. Oates, mid-range. Guarded up well by Bigham. Still in trouble. Poked loose by Bigham. On the floor, taken by Washington. Washington skipping ahead. Over to Smith. Smith, the reverse layup. Good. McAlester has their first lead. It's 8-7. 5:34 left in the first.
Defense leading the offense there. Much like the girls' game, that's what the Buffaloes also can do well.
Off a screen. King dribbles it straight away. Now left side into the lane. 2 is up. High over Bigham, and making it is King. And that's another impressive 2. Now falling asleep was Will Rogers going to the other side. Brandon Smith takes advantage of it. He drives all the way towards the rim, and McAlester retakes the lead 10-9. 5:19 left in the first.
Heavyweight fight here early. Both teams trading punches.
Buckley Jr. long 3 won't go. Rebounded by Smith. Again, he wants to put his foot on the gas. A quick dribble across the timeline. Stops, tries to restart between the legs and steady dribbles. Working with that brace on his left wrist, it looks like, as we have a jump ball in the mid-range area. It'll stay with McAlester anyway. 5 minutes left in the first. I didn't see really much of anything to warrant a jump ball.
There was a little bit of contact, but I think you just play on there.
10-9. Here's a quick inbound. Dooney low post. Dooney contested. Banked it in anyway. Alex Dooney, the guard, making it happen down in the thick of it. In the paint, McAlester, 12-9. It's been now tied for our largest lead of the game so far. And what, Chase, you just mentioned was a back-and-forth contest.
Yeah, 6-2 run here for the Buffaloes.
Titsworth passing. Still around the front court, back to King, now inside the circle. Works on Pouncil. Stops on a dime, high post, down inside. 2-pointer up by Crossland. When we have a wedgie. I've never seen a double bounce wedgie.
I've never seen a wedgie happen like that on a court.
It bounced twice off of the back iron and then just sandwiched itself. But since the possession arrow favors Will Rogers, it will stay with the Ropers along the baseline. And this is where I think you should have had the jump ball on the other side of the floor. It would have been McAlester basketball.
That is what I like a little bit more about, the rules on the upper levels. But
Titsworth inbounds. Smith almost swiped it away, staying with Rogers here. Top of the key, Crossland driving. Crossland stops baseline. Tries to get around Pouncil. We'll have a travel down in the baseline. What defense by Davian Pouncil. Again, he does a really good job of working around the perimeter and then down into the paint. And he forces the travel, and that will give the ball back to the Buffaloes. Up 12-9, 4:26 remaining in quarter number 1. And this is the good thing about the Ropers. They have such a depth to their lineup, too. They can bring in quite a bit of players and not really have to worry about foul trouble. They just substitute, I believe, 2 or 3 players right there. Dooney passes angle right to Pouncil. Pouncil looking inside. No one was open. Have to get it between the rings. Quickly to Washington, left wing. Bounce pass, low post. Pouncil guarded up by Crossland. Almost got it a little bit too hard as it clanked off the right iron. Crossland has the rebound and takes himself down the floor. Stops right wing. Mishandles the dribble. Gathers it back to Oates straight away. Quickly to Caleb Mitchell, who just checked into the game, guarded up by Washington. Washington playing with 1 foul. Drives, loses it. Straight to Crossland. Pulls up. Pop and shot. Right elbow 2. Back iron. Long rebound made by Devion Bigham at the high post. Almost lost it as Caleb Mitchell trying to come from behind him and swipe it loose. Instead, Washington now has the ball dribbling between the legs up to the perimeter. Now backpedals it on up. 3:35 left in the first. 3-point McAlester lead. Right wing to Smith. Off a screen by Dooney. Dooney's pushed down, and this should be a foul on Hammond. Only the 3rd foul of the first quarter so far. That'll be Hammond's first.
Yeah, good job by Dooney, though, staying strong, being a little bit of an irritant, and that's where you see things like that. Just sometimes that boils over defensively, and you just kind of shove, and Dooney ended up getting one there.
Speaking of Dooney, he gets the inbound from Smith. Bounce pass it just inside the 3-point line to Bigham. He'll take the long 2. Got it! Devion Bigham with the long 2 makes it 14-9. And McAlester up by 5. Had that right foot just in front of the three-point line at the top of the key. Muscling his way towards the rim, but can't score. Offensive board and put back made by Brandon Crossland, and one. Who was he fouled by on the way there? I think it was Pouncil. That'll be Pouncil's first, team second. And before you could blink, it's the Ropers trying to pull it back within 2 points.
Yeah, I mentioned the height is going to be something to watch here in this one, as Rogers, they've got plenty of it. And we're seeing it here early already.
Crossland's listed at 6'3". He must have had a growth spurt since that was listed as 6'3". And plus, he's got a vertical to go with it. He misses the free throw, so it's still a three-point game. Bickham has the board. Bickham kind of in trouble. Passes in front of him to Dooney. Dooney ahead to Washington. Washington tries feeding it to a trailing Pouncil, and it's knocked out of bounds by Hammond in transition. Baseline inbound coming up for the black and gold with 3:01 left in the first.
Rodney was also really, really close to traveling there. So
I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm glad you did. Smith lobs it to Dooney, takes it quite a ways away from the three-point line, feeds it to the far sideline to Smith. Smith on the drive, stopping, back step, long two, won't roll in, and Rodney Washington breaking down on him, young fella, 16-11. Brought it back in, far corner three, they answer right back. Jay Oates says, I don't have time to think about highlight reels. A steal on the inbound, 2 is up, and we have another foul here on McAlester. Cameron Hammond will be going to the free throw line.
Well,
you saw that one, didn't you?
I did see that one after not seeing Friday, but that's exactly how you take the wind out of a sail after a moment like that. You get a 3, and now you've got a chance to tie it when you were just down 5.
Yeah, especially after a thunderous dunk like that, when you lay it on somebody like that. As the first free throw is missed. And from the line, the Ropers back in January were 62% from the line.
Oh, for their first 2 here.
Still a 16-14 game, McAlester on top. It's something new every game with Rodney Washington, man, I tell you what. Fouls on Smith, by the way. That was his first. They missed both the free throws. They're 0 of 3 from the line. Washington has the board. McAlester has 3 team fouls, all of them on a different player. 2.5 left in the first. Washington trying to drive. High post. Contested 2 won't go, but he'll go the line this time. And 2:28 left in the first. 16-14, and Rodney has... I mean, you would expected a little bit of a kind of a learning curve going from 8th grade junior high ball to 9th grade. He just looks like he's one of the best players in the state still. First shot made by Washington.
And it still just continues to blow my mind that, he's a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
It seems almost not real.
Wesley Phillips and Caven Hill into the game. Pouncil and Smith take their first breaks. First substitution for Coach Dooney. Second free throw made by Washington, and McAlester up by 4, 18-14. Again, quickly down the floor, McAlester caught napping near corner 3 on the way by Hammond, is off kilter. Bounce to, nope, got to be another offensive rebound. 2 is up and made by Caleb Mitchell. Washington tried bouncing the rebound to Hill. Hill couldn't handle it. It's now again an 18-16 game. Washington stops, restarts, goes up for 2, and is fouled again. 2 more free throw attempts for Rodney Washington.
Hey, why not? If it ain't broke. And now that's the 4th team foul against the Ropers with just over 2 minutes left.
That's big, too. That foul's also on Hammond. That's his second personal. Washington's first free throw is good, so since he made his first one, he's now made his last 4 in a row. And Cade French checks in for Hill. And Hill getting a coaching moment here from Coach Dooney. Washington's second free throw in the air and made. So he's made his last 5 in a row now. He's 5 of 6 from the line, 20-16 again. McAlester slow to get to the other side, quickly taken back by Hammond. Now driving, 2-pointer up, trying to lay it in. They got it in 1. We have been trading fouls here on opposite sides of the floor, and now trying to complete the 3-point play will be Caleb Mitchell.
And I think, Will Rogers, they've done that well so far here. Just the immediate response here. You're not even giving McAlester a chance to think about, hey, we've built up a couple possessions lead here. We've got some momentum because it's flying right back.
Right. Free throw in the air, and that's their first made free throw of the game. It's now 20-18. Smith and Pouncil quickly back into the game. And out will be Phillips. Cornish is on the floor, so he checks in as well. Dooney comes out. So it's Bickham, Washington, Pouncil, Smith, and Cornish. Inbound to Smith, back to Cornish. Cornish near sideline. Back to Cornish. far sideline. Leaping, grabbing the ball. That's a backcourt violation McAlester, I think, got away with.
Yeah.
Corners on the edge of the circle. Back to Smith. Steps into a three-pointer on the left wing. Painted gold, Brandon Smith. 4-point McAlester lead, 23-19. He's a 41% three-point shooter, and he shows it right there.
He's got 7 here early.
Right wing Mitchell tries to answer back. Can't do so. Washington says, that's my ball. 1:35 left in the first. McAlester 4-point advantage. They're scoring at will, but so is Will Rogers. Left wing. Pouncil skips it inside. In the paint. Draws contact. Smith short with a shot. Gets his own rebound. Low post. Back up at the 2 and scores. Brandon Smith. That's all strength right there. Courtesy of Coach Maddox. 25-19. Step back. Thought about the 3. Instead right wing. Buckley Jr. Cross court. Near corner 3 by Hammonds in the air and good. We've already had way more three-pointers made than we saw back in January. 25-22, and we're on pace to have a 100-88 game.
Nice quick math there, my friend.
Hey, sometimes I'm okay. Driving in, Smith up for 2. Almost got it, but he'll go to the line instead.
This is maybe just all of the team right now, but also this is the version of Brandon Smith that I like to see. He's being very aggressive, not being passive, and he's already missed 2 shots, but he's already knocked down 4. He's not scared to keep throwing the ball up, and as I mentioned, that's why he's been my player to watch.
First free throw rattles home for Smith. Again, McAlester in the bonus. There's team foul number 5. Smith already up to 10 points. It feels like a quiet 10 points, too, with how quickly we've been moving.
Him and Rodney combining, I believe, for 21 of the 26.
Is that good?
It's not bad.
Smith trying to go 2 of 2 from the line. And can't do so. Washington fought for the rebound. Said, grabbed by Oates. He ran over his own player and traveled. Oates is saying, where's the foul at? But he doesn't know that he ran over Brandon Crossland, his own teammate. That's why there wasn't a foul, because he traveled. And honestly, you know, a lot of officials don't get a bunch of kudos. How he saw that from around Rodney Washington. Good call by the official. Quick pop and shot 3. Washington buries it from deep in the corner, from nearly behind the backboard. Rodney with a quick 15. And there'll be a ball almost stolen by Smith. Can't handle it. It'll be staying with the Rogers Ropers here. McAlester with a game-high lead, 29-22. 47 seconds left, still in the first quarter. We're on to record-breaking numbers so far. Titsworth lobbing it far corner, not being able to be saved. Is that basketball? Jay Oates look for it. 39 seconds left in the first, but that's the thing about McAlester. They can score at will once they get that snowball rolling. And right now it is rolling.
And 4 turnovers here for the Ropers, none for McAlester so far. That's been one of the big difference here in the first, other than made shots, obviously.
McAlester had 23 turnovers back in January, so far doing all right. Left wing, Smith, spin move, high post, up with the floater, can't go. Bigham went for the rebound, and it was last touched by Bigham. Out of bounds. It'll stay with, it will go to the Ropers now with 24.6 on the clock in the first. Heck, I want it. Let's see a 100-88 game.
I would like to see it.
What could be the final possession here for the Ropers? They look like they're slowing things down for the first time tonight. King passes left front court to Mitchell. Mitchell hands it back off to King with 8 seconds. He's standing inside the circle. Has to make it work now. 5 seconds. Spin move, high post, back outside. Lob to the right wing. Pump fake, now three-pointer in the air and made. There's the buzzer, too. DeCarian Titsworth makes it a 29-25 game at the buzzer. And McAlester, though a high-scoring first quarter, lead it by 4. 29-25, what would normally be a halftime score here. We'll head to the second in just a moment on KNED.
So, checking accounts. There seems like a ton to choose from, right? I was looking for one that didn't charge monthly fees, with bounce protection, and had mobile banking. I found the Bank NA. The Bank NA has been voted #1 for 10 years in a row in the McAlester News Capital's Reader's Choice Awards. The bonus is that they're local, so the money stays in town. Call 918-423-2265 or go in to find what you need in checking options. The Bank NA. Strong, secure, and ready to loan. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Fenton Nissan, we keep you moving with our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles.
Every pre-owned vehicle receives a 126-point inspection.
We have close relationships with over 20 financial institutions to keep you moving in a new-to-you vehicle of your dreams.
Visit Fenton Nissan for a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, great trade-in values, and the best deal.
Don't forget to tell them Morgan sent ya.
Fenton Nissan is your best deal dealer. Shop us online now at fentonnissan.com.
Let's see if the second quarter has what the first quarter had in store. 29-25 as we're just now starting the second. Alex Dooney on the floor has to get rid of the ball here. Tries giving it to Pouncil instead. Away over to Crossland. And Crossland ahead to King. King retrieves it. Block shot into oblivion. Brandon Smith. Not in my house. He'll stay with the Ropers as it was knocked across the baseline. On the floor for McAlester is Smith, Dooney, Washington, Pouncil, and Bickham. They're starting 5 for McAlester. Inbound low post, Crossland. Guarded well by Pouncil, but the hook shot falls, and it's now 29-27. Both teams scoring with great efficiency. Chase, you're looking at the first quarter stats.
Yeah, both teams made 10 shots in that first quarter.
And Alex Dooney from the low post cannot make a shot. Gets his, fighting for his own rebound. Sliding over it, still has it. He's being picked up off of the hardwood as they were both still wrestling for, but there's a good show of sportsmanship by Caleb Mitchell bringing up Dooney, but still a jump ball leads to a possession arrow favoring the Ropers, and they'll get the ball with a chance to tie here. But yeah, both teams are shooting plus 50% in the first quarter. McAlester plus 60.
Yeah, and McAlester 3 of 3 from deep. Rodney Washington with 15 and Brandon Smith with 10. Just an insane first quarter.
I would like to see it be sustainable for both teams.
Same.
Turnaround jump shot, airballed by Mitchell, rebounded by Bickham. Quickly ahead to Washington. Washington 2-on-3, doesn't have the numbers. Drives to the low post, and will be fouled on his way up. Rodney Washington looked at the man who fouled him and said, it's got to be a little bit quicker next time. This trip to the free throw line brought to you by Big V Feed Center. For your animals' needs plus winter feed booking prices, call 918-426-1951. That foul was on Jay Oates, his second, so that's now 3 Ropers with 2 fouls on him before we enter the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. First free throw made by Washington. He's up to 16 points. You were mentioning this during the break, too. These are all like halftime stats that we have for both these teams.
It's insane the pace that we've seen so far. I just wonder how much longer it'll keep up.
Second free throw made by Washington, 17 points. I mean, he's on pace, like I said, close to a 60-point game right now.
He's at 17 now.
And he's been not too far away from the 40-point club before. His career high is 34, but again, he had 23 points in one quarter once, and that was against this team. Right wing 3 by Crossland, too strong. Bickham's got the rebound down in the low post, and he's left alone. I'll hand it off in the backcourt to Washington, who will take it down and pass it angle left to Pouncil. Deeper into the corner to Smith. Smith starting his dribble and will work it back to the front court, calling out his plays to his team. We have one man down in the paint right now is Wesley Phillips. Smith tries to bounce past the baseline and does so to Bickham. Bickham got to be careful. Pass back out left wing. 3 is in the air. He's fouled and got it. Rodney Washington is a madman. He's got 20 points and a chance to make it a lucky 21.
I need to make sure that this isn't an NBA player I'm looking at. I mean,
are you sure?
I'm cleaning my glasses really quick. Rodney Washington, 3 of 3 from deep. He's got 20 of the 34. Just absolutely insane here for the freshman.
He misses the free throw, though, and it will be rebounded here by Crossland. It's now a 34-27 game, but Rodney Washington, oh my goodness. Plenty of contact on that left wing 3, and the confidence is just exuberating up here into the booth. Well, imaginary booth. Low post. Right, rather mid-range area, back out to the near corner. Crossland tries crossing over Smith, and Smith a little bit too much contact on the push there of Crossland. He'll pick up his second foul.
Is the real booth just the friends we made along the way?
It is the friends we made along the way.
That's what I've been told.
Put that on a motivational poster.
Brandon's second personal foul, personal foul.
But again, Smith with 10 points right now. That's just his second, so he's doing okay. Just don't want to pick up that third before the end of the half. Inbound into the corner of the front court, taken by King. King tries getting past Washington. Washington said no dies, having to pick up the dribble with a skip just about 3 feet from him to the left wing. Further into the corner to Titsworth, who hit a 3 before the end of the first quarter, nearly by the buzzer. Baseline, long pass out right wing to straightaway area. Hammond for 3, banks it in. Another pretty impressive shot there. That's on by Hammond. Makes it a 34-30 game. 5:33 left in the half.
Roper's now 5 of 9 from deep, so they're keeping pace with McAlester here.
For both teams, that basketball hoop looking like a hula hoop. Lob high post. Washington back outside the perimeter. What do you got for me, Washington? Step back. Right wing 3. Oh, back iron. That Jim would have erupted if that one would have fell. Rebounded by Hammond, and now the Ropers back the other way. Down by 4. Into a 3. Oates, no good. Ball gets to the high post area, and we have a quick foul ensuing.
I think they got Dooney.
Yep, that'll be Dooney. Could be his first, I believe. Yep, number 1.
And Bickham coming in to get Pouncil here for the Buffaloes.
So on the floor now, Phillips, Smith, Bickham, Washington, and Dooney. Inbound near corner. King with the basketball, guarded by Washington. Lob out top of the key. Mitchell tries driving on Dooney. Feeds it with a shovel pass into the corner. Step back, right wing 3. Hammond air balls the shot. Too strong, and a foul on the rebound as well, as this time it was Washington that pushed Oates. That's going to be a battle, I think, for the remainder of the night here, but that's Washington's.
I think they got
Phillips.
They got Phillips instead. So that is notable.
That is notable. Only Phillips is first, team third. Ropers to inbound. Baseline, they get down to the low post to King. King around Washington, left it short. Washington bounces the rebound over to Smith. Let's see if Smith wants to push it. He does so. Found a lane towards it. Towards the rack. Can't go. Wesley Phillips with the offensive board, and he went back up with the shot. Washington quickly to go help out his teammate Smith. But it'll be Phillips at the free throw line here. Wesley Phillips at the line has only taken 4 free throw attempts. He is so far 1 of 4 from the line. And once again, I don't know why Smith just likes doing it. He likes cleaning up the floor himself. That's the second time I've seen that this year. At least here at the MAC.
I like it, though. I feel like it kind of speaks to his character as well.
Again, I overuse it way too many times, but fine, I'll do it myself. It's easy. Phillips' first free throw. Can't take a Buffalo bounce in. Phillips, though, on the season, his shots from the field, 58%. Which, if you're looking at qualified players with 10 shots attempted or more, that leads the team.
Also, Pouncil did just check in for Brandon Smith as well, so it looks like he's going to get a bit of a breather.
Phillips does knock down the second free throw, splits the trip, and McAlester back up by 5, 35-30. As this second quarter has slowed down, but hey, don't hold your breath. We could kick it back up in just a moment.
Just, I believe, 6-5 here in the quarter.
After we saw 29-25 first quarter. Wow. Mitchell trying to drive in on Dooney. Lost the ball. Gathers it back.
Great defense.
Lobbing it back into the corner. Crossan takes the spot up 3. Got it. Both teams just shooting out of their minds. Again, this is the final score. Back in January, it was 65-63. We were already well past the halfway point to that. And that's a pretty high-scoring game.
Both teams combined 10 of 17 from the three-point line.
Washington breaks the man's ankles. Into the rim he goes. Into the paint he goes. Leaves the shot short. Gets his own rebound, and he's fouled on the putback. So back to the line for Rodney Washington. I can't remember how many combined free throws we had back in T-Town between these two teams last time, but it was quite a bit. First free throw is made by Washington. He kind of leaned back with it, tried using the force to make sure it didn't roll off. Smith back into the game for Phillips.
But you mentioned the free throw numbers, Brandon. Both teams here combined, if I can get this pulled up here, because it makes that one.
Yep.
Both teams combined, 18 total free throws so far. McAlester shot 15 of them.
37-33, McAlester up by 4. We have not had a larger than 7-point lead. That was by the Buffaloes. 3:50 left in the half. Top of the key, Hammond gets it right wing. Haven't seen a ton of substitutions for really either team yet, though. High post jump pass, the near corner, and a travel in the corner by Hammond.
Not a lot of turnovers here early as well for either side, I believe. Well, I mean, for Rogers, that's their 4th turnover. I guess 5 if you count the steal from McAlester as well. So not a lot of turnovers here in the first half. It's been pretty clean for both sides.
It's just been fun basketball to me, unless you hate offense. If you love defense, this is not a game for those in the 70s. Right wing Pouncil. I made someone mad right there. Pouncil driving into the paint, goes up at the 2, misses the shot, offensive board. Bickham, mid-range floater, won't go either. Crossland climbs the ladder, brings down the board, and now tries to bring his team back within a possession. Crossland stops, guarded up by Pouncil. Pouncil, good defense, as they'll have to hand it off over to Titsworth between the rings. Off to the left side, Mitchell. Mitchell guarded by Washington, blocking his vision. Entry pass inside, entry pass back out, down into the corner. Back over to Titsworth. Right wing guarded by Bickham. Again, McAlester working out that, really not a man, it's a zone defense. It's a 2-3 zone here for Coach Dooney. Baseline, fadeaway jumper made by Sean King. It's back to a 2-point game, 37-35. Ahead to Pouncil. McAlester trying to catch him napping. Pouncil stopping low post. Blocked shot by Crossland. Crossland has his pocket pick late. Whistle coming in. That'll be Dooney's second. That'll be McAllister's 4th team foul with 2:44 left in the half. And now both teams with 2:44 left in the half. 14 fouls apiece.
Yeah, after a combined, 54 points in the first quarter, here in the second we've got 18 combined. So much different second quarter. Things have slowed down here a bit.
And we've still been seeing some crazy shots fall, like that last one by King. Here's a near corner three ball that falls as well. That one's by DeCarry and Titsworth. He's up to 8 points. And there's the Ropers' first lead since early in the game, 38-37. Washington right front court with his team down by 1. Washington trying to cross over Mitchell. Top of the key. Swing pass, left wing, spot at 3. Smith left it short. Offensive board. Pouncil gives McAlester the lead back. Cleans the glass like a janitor, and it's now 39-38. McAlester back up by 1. Crossan trying to get it back. Steps into a left wing 3. Short with the shot. Pouncil's got the board near the perimeter. Feeding ahead over to Smith. Smith stops. Restarts. Stops back. And passes to the far sideline to Washington. Washington, anywhere is his range. Here's the far corner 3 by Smith. Off the back iron. We'll have a foul here on Will Rogers. Yeah, and that should send Dooney line here. You're exactly right. That's foul number 5. He was setting the screen for Smith in that far corner for the 3, and the defender just ran right over him. It's on Caleb Mitchell, his second. There's a lot of Will Rogers players with 2 fouls, but I'm not sure if anyone has gotten their third yet. 1:53 left in the half. Buffaloes lead it by 1, 39-38. First free throw in the air is no good. Dooney, a 62% free throw shooter against Edison. He only had 1 attempt. He was 1 of 1 against Will Rogers a month ago, 1 of 2. A 2.3 points per game getter, 2.4 rebounds a game grabber. Kind of that blue-collar guy. And he misses the second free throw that just spun out. A little bit too much English on the shot. Passing ahead to Oates. Oates left alone, high off the glass. Misses the shot. Dooney's got the rebound down the low post. Dooney is passed ahead to Pouncil. Now ahead to Smith. Smith is going to be tripped up. Yes. I was afraid it was here on this near sideline as Smith kind of spun around a little bit. I was worried that he might have stepped out of bounds. He does hold like the left side of his thigh, but he quickly gets back up. Washington's trying to direct him to the free throw line, and he shakes his hand, and Smith with a big smile says, "Thank you, sir. Thank you, kind sir." Second foul on Crossan. That's another Roper with 2 fouls. Get McAlester in the bonus here with 1:41 left in the half, so more free throws for Smith. This first one is made. Buffalo's already up to 40 points. They're averaging 63.3 points per game. They're well over halfway there already. And for Smith, that's his first points in the quarter after a 10-point performance in the first 8 minutes. Second free throw. Smith buries them both. And the Buffaloes quickly back up by 3 on a 4-0 quick run after they went down by 1. Crossland into the corner to Titsworth, who's been matching his numbers so far. A couple of made threes. Hands it off to Mitchell. Mitchell on the drive, and we'll have a foul near the perimeter, and that will lead to more free throws here. Yeah. This one, Pouncil, as now that puts the Ropers into the bonus for the rest of the half. 1:31 left in it. This is another reason why I like the 5 fouls apiece, because if you get, 7 in the first quarter, which we did have, that's a long half. Exactly, yeah. I like how it resets each quarter. But you were going to say, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Oh, no, you're fine. I was just going to say that much like it was in the first quarter when McAlester would create some separation, we saw Rogers go and get that 1-point lead, and McAlester fired right back. So Mitchell makes both of the free throws, and it's back down to a 1-point McAlester lead. This has been fun. It's been very fun. 41-40 is our score. Both teams on their A game tonight. I don't even think it's been bad defense. No. I think it's just been good offense. Yeah. Not a lot of turnovers, just making shots. Baseline Bickham feeds back out to Dooney, left wing. Bounce pass, back to the baseline to Bickham. Back outside, left wing Smith. Smith crosses over a man towards the rack. Lost the ball on the way up. It looked like it was stripped loose by a Roper, so it'll be a baseline inbound here for McAlester. He's done a good job, though, of creating off the dribble. Instead of settling for a bunch of outside shots, he's forced some issues, and it's led to some free throws for him as well. Washington gets the inbound in the front court. One-on-one with his opposition right in front of him, and Caleb Mitchell. So you can just see the effect. All 5 defenders are looking at Rodney Washington right now with the basketball. Left wing into the corner to Dooney. How could you not? Dooney over to Smith straight away. Smith, the high post area, lost it a couple of times, never really had a good handle on it. Stolen, now 3-on-1 in transition, crossing up for 2. Wild 2, good transition defense by Pouncil, but still an offensive board by the Ropers. Muscling his way towards the rim and scoring. Looked to be Mitchell. And now it's a Roper 42-41 lead. Smith to the near corner. Long pass to Dooney. Fakes the pass left, looks back right, finds Washington. 22 seconds left. What you got left to end the second quarter, Rodney? This is his distance too, man. I'm just saying. 15, 14 over to Smith. Smith has got unlimited range too. 10 seconds left in the half. Back to Smith in the front court. 8 seconds. 7 seconds. Got to start it now. Smith. 5 seconds. 4 on the drive. Lost the ball again at the high post. Stolen ahead to Mitchell. Half-court shot at the buzzer. Good if it goes. It won't go. Over the backboard. And that'll be the end of the first half. But what a first half it was. The Will Rogers Rovers lead 42-41 over the McAlester Buffaloes as we have a whole lot of stats to recap when we return. Again, 42-41 at the break in this 5A4 district match here on KNED.
Don't let heating and cooling issues break your heart this February. At Freeze and Flare Heat and Air, we know there's nothing worse than dealing with an uncomfortable home. Whether you're trying to stay warm on a chilly night or beat the heat on an unseasonably warm afternoon, our expert team is here to make sure your system is running perfectly. Show your HVAC system some love this month, and let us ensure you stay cozy, comfortable, and carefree all season long. We are licensed, bonded, and insured. Mechanical license number 001444485.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester says to all Oklahomans, your voice and your dream to buy a new or used vehicle starts today at Patriot CDJR in McAlester.
Take $17,000 off Ram 1500 trucks or get 0.9% financing for 72 months. Take $15,000 off 2500 Bighorns.
Together, we will make Oklahoma car buying great again.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester. Ram MSRP 57605. Bighorn 76845.
McAlester Direct Primary Care offers 24/7 access to your provider, deeply discounted rates on labs and imaging, more time with your provider, same day or next day appointments, and even home visits for a flat monthly membership fee. We now offer hormone replacement therapy in addition to our other services. For more information, please stop by our office, McAlester Direct Primary Care at 6th and Carl Albert, or give us a call at 918-233-6522.
Stipe Law Firm, your first call when the unthinkable strikes for over 80 years. We focus on wrongful death, personal injury, truck and oil field accidents, insurance bad faith, probate, end-of-life preparation, and Social Security disability claims. We are here to advocate for you in all of your legal needs. We are a full-service law firm with over a century of experience representing Oklahomans across the state, professionally and discreetly. We win our cases in courtrooms, not on social media. Call today, 918-423-0421, or go online to stipelaw.com.
It was a crazy first half. You had to be here. That's why we encourage you to come on out. We enjoyed that you enjoy our broadcast, but we'd rather have you here and just pop in an earbud if you want to. 42-41 is the score. The Will Rogers Rovers lead the McAlester Buffaloes, but McAlester led for a majority of the first half. Let's look at your halftime stats brought to you by First Realty, 602 South 2nd Street, McAlester. Call 918-423-3122 or visit first-realty.net.
For more than 50 years, First Realty has helped the residents of McAlester and the surrounding area with their real estate needs. Whether residential or commercial, First Realty will guide you through the process of buying or selling your home or business. You can view our property inventory online at first-realty.net. We update our listings daily. And don't forget, if you're into pickleball, the Pickle Palace is open. If you have questions, give us a call at 918-423-3122.
All right, Chase, take it away.
Brandon, I'll throw the onus back to you real quick. Where do you want me to start? You want to do player stats or you want to do team stats? Because we've got plenty of stuff to get to here.
Man, I guess start off with player stats because Rodney Washington, 22 points. A lot of people, that would be their career high, and he had it in the half.
He had 22 in the first half. That's a perfect segue. He shot 5 of 7 in that first half, 3 of 4 from the three-point line, also 9 of 11 from the charity stripe. Of that 22, he had 15 in the first quarter, had 7 in the second quarter. I know you mentioned he had a 23-point quarter the last time these guys played, so it looks like he's following it up pretty well this time around. And how about Brandon Smith? He's right behind him, the only other Buffalo in double figures with 12. He's 4 of 9 from the field. He's 1 of 2 from the three-point line, and he's knocked down 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. I also forgot to mention Rodney does have 4 rebounds, as does Brandon Smith, who also has a block. And then the scoring really dries out. You've got Devion Bickham with 2, Alex Dooney with 2 as well, and then you also have Pouncil with 2, and then you have Phillips with 1. So really, it's mainly Washington and Brandon Smith who have combined for 34 of the 41 for the Buffaloes here. Let's go ahead and get into the team side of it. Both teams shooting at 48%, just right on that number. McAlester, they've made 4 less shots on 8 less attempts. They're 12 of 25. Tulsa Will Rogers is 16 of 33. Both teams shooting well from 3. McAlester is 67% from deep on 4 of 6 shooting. Will Rogers, they have shot 9 more threes, and they've made 3 more. They're 7 of 15 for a 47% clip, which, don't get it twisted, just because McAlester is shooting so good, that is still a really good number. If you were to finish the game shooting 47% from 3, that's not a bad company to be in. And the free throw differential really would make you think this score would be different than what it is. McAlester has made 13 of 19 free throws. Will Rogers just 3 of 6.
Golly.
Yet they have the 1-point lead. So if you were to just look at this and not look at the score, you would think McAlester probably has the lead here with having the 10-point differential in free throws. But as we move along here, the rebound game does favor McAlester as well, 18-12. They have 7 offensive rebounds to 4 for Will Rogers. The fouls are pretty even, 9-11 in favor of McAlester on the low side. McAlester, though, just 1 steal, but they have forced 5 total turnovers. They also have just 4 turnovers of their own. So it's been a pretty clean offensive first half and just 1 block apiece for each side. And, that's how the first half was. A very offensive-filled first 2 quarters.
No one is missing. Even the people throwing their ducks, the Chuck-a-Ducks here, are making their shots. It's falling inside of the pool for free popcorn. Someone won a Subway gift card by launching it into the metal bucket. So everyone's making their shots here tonight. So in order for McAlester to evaporate just a 1-point deficit right now at 42-41 at the break, what does McAlester need to do to try to upset the Will Rogers Ropers? It wouldn't be much of an upset. Again, McAlester only lost by 2 last time out, and they're only down by 2 spots in the 5A4 standings. What can McAlester do better in the second half to take a hold of this game?
Well, there's a couple aspects to that because I think they're really not doing anything too much on the bad side of it. Defensively, I think Will Rogers is just shooting the lights out. They've made a couple of really tough threes with really good contests. I guess maybe just take away, the space there that's before the pass is coming. If you know it's coming, maybe take away some of that space. Don't get him the chance to get in rhythm and get a good 3 up. If he's going to shoot it, make him rush it a little bit. Make him have to force it a little bit higher or stronger because you're closing out so quickly. But I really think they're doing a good job defensively. It's not like they're getting beat back door. They're not getting beat on the outlet passes like a lot of cherry picking that Edison was doing last Friday. You're not seeing that a lot here. It's just been that good of an offensive game. Maybe just contest a little bit better. The rebounding game, they're doing a good job in on both sides. They lead it on the offense and defensive side. So I really just think that maybe some closer contests on the shots just to make it a little bit tougher for Will Rogers because, again, they're shooting the lights out. And if you can get good contests, I don't think they're going to continue to shoot like that for the final, 16 minutes of this game.
And see, I thought the same thing. I thought that, and I mentioned it right before we went to the halftime break, I don't think either team is playing poorly. I just think that which team is going to fold first.
Yeah, exactly.
And neither team has folded. This has been what you want in a top 4. You're coming down to the finish line in the regular season. Who wants to have a better spot come regional tournament play? Does it want to be McAlester or does it want to be Will Rogers? We're about to find out as we are about to enter the second half with McAlester trailing 41-42 to the Will Rogers Ropers. Those are your halftime stats brought to you by First Realty, 602 South 2nd Street, McAlester. Call 918-423-3122 or visit first-realty.net. Once again, McAlester is at 4th in the 5A4 standings, just in front of Tahlequah, but just also barely behind Edison Prep. So that would help McAlester a win to get back up to the number 3 spot with Edison still to play later on this week. Will Rogers, they are comfortably at number 2, but they are still an outside shot of maybe taking over Tulsa Memorial if they have a strong into their season. So big-time game for both these teams, and it's showing on the scoreboard. We'll see what the second half has in store when we return here on KNED.
Running into an old friend is nice. Running into a total stranger, well, not so good. Now, you don't need help from Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop for those greetings with friends, but if you have one of those unwanted encounters with a stranger, give Buck Wilson a call at 918-423-3161. They are expert craftsmen, specialists. They can straighten out your situation. Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop, 103 East Oklahoma, McAlester. Again, call 918-423-3161.
Now we celebrate.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. From now until the end of January, we are celebrating 10 years of serving and being a part of your community. We'll be running some of our biggest sales and service specials ever, so if you need a vehicle for the family, a truck for your business, or some economical transportation, we have it for you. So come make it happen at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula at our 10-year anniversary sale.
So, checking accounts. There seems like a ton to choose from, right? I was looking for one that didn't charge the Bank NA. The Bank NA has been voted #1 for 10 years in a row in the McAlester News Capital's Reader's Choice Awards. The bonus is that they're local, so the money stays in town. Call 918-423-2265 or go in to find what you need in checking options. The Bank NA. Strong, secure, and ready to loan. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to McAlester, Oklahoma. As we begin the third quarter in the second half, quickly, we're off already to light speed. Here's a straightaway three by Brandon Smith that he won't get. But they were quick ball movement here out of the break. McAlester down again, 42-41, 15 seconds into the third quarter. Here's a left wing three in transition as Titsworth can't make that one. They don't like the other side of the floor so far.
No, not so far.
Both teams shot nearly 50% from the field and over 50% from three. On the floor right now for McAlester, the starting five: Pouncil, Dooney, Washington, Smith, and Bickham. Outside, Pouncil thought about the near corner three. He can hit him. Back outside over to Smith. Angle left. You're just now starting the third quarter. Brandon Green alongside Chase McNutt. Here inside of our makeshift booth. Here's the spin. The down low post over to Dooney. Dooney lost it, gathers it back mid-range. Backwards passes it on a bounce for Bickham. It was a little awry and stolen there by Crossland. Ahead to Titsworth. Titsworth with a layup. It's good. And that is Will Rogers' largest lead of the game, 44-41. That is how much of a back-and-forth game this one has been. Washington 22 in the first half and can't bang that one in to be able to start off the third quarter.
Yeah, that's a tough shot.
Head to Mitchell. Mitchell, well, is there a travel or a foul first? They're going to call a foul first on Davian Pouncil. And will be on the floor. That should be Pouncil's third. Yeah, it is.
So that'll be something to watch here as this one rolls along. Maybe Phillips or Caven Hill get a little bit more extended run here in the second half.
McAlester with minimal substitutions so far, but we've had Phillips and Hill, and also for a minimal amount of time, Cade French in the game as well. Cornish came in for about a possession or two, too. Because here's a near corner three, and they haven't stopped, though. They had missed their first three, and I said something, and they made their last two shots. Jay Oates, the near corner three. He's got 8 points, and it's a 47-41 Roper lead.
And that was too much room again. Pouncil just hand down, man down.
Pouncil near corner, bounce pass baseline. Bickham. Bickham starts his dribble to the low post. Ooh. Nice move, banks it in. Devion Bickham, like a pro move right there. Makes it a 47-44 game.
Yeah, that's a lost art nowadays. You don't see a lot of post moves like that.
Buckley Jr., right wing three won't go. Again, Bickham says, I got the rebound. Swings it quickly to Washington down the far sideline. Washington accelerates towards the rim. Lost it on the way up. It was stripped loose. Tried to sell the foul, wouldn't get it. And we'll have Wesley Phillips and Caven Hill, both of them checking in quickly.
You know, I don't even know if this makes sense from what I'm about to say, but Washington going down the lane there, it almost looked like he was moving in slow motion, even though they're not able to keep up with him.
But he's passing everybody. Here's a wide open far corner three. Bickham can't get it off the back iron. Washington with the rebound. Muscles his way to the low post and scores. Rodney Washington. He shoots, he scores right this way. Mr. Washington to the charity stripe. And that'll be the third foul on Crosland. That's something to look at as well, because I'd say Brandon Crosland. I mean, the Ropers have just a plethora of talent, but Crossland's probably their best player. And he's got his third right now. 45-47 to try to bring it back within a 1-point game. The trip to the free throw line brought to you by Big V Feed Center. As he does so, and it's a 47-46 deficit for McAlester. Again, Big V Feed Center for your animals' needs, plus winter feed booking prices. Call 918-426-1951.
If you want to talk about efficiency, Rodney Washington has 25 on 6 made shots. That's
wow.
Really efficient.
Popping shot left elbow two, won't go for Mitchell. Offensive board Crossland in the low post. He'll put it back in. That is why if McAlester can get Crossland into further foul trouble, that would be big for McAlester. 49-46. Just stole points there for the Ropers.
Yeah, that's the 5th offensive rebound for them.
Far sideline, Hill, back to Smith. The man-to-man defense pretty much all game here for the Ropers. McAlester has mixed it up, a little bit of man, a little bit of zone. Bickham hands off to Washington. Takes a spot, left front court area. Begins his dribble. Over to the right wing. Stomps on the Buffalo logo, tries to spin it inside for Hill, and it's stolen away. Tinsworth with a steal. Ahead to Buckley Jr. Buckley Jr. is denied access to the hoop. Rodney Washington with another huge rejection.
I'm laughing just because the thought process to want to attempt that layup, knowing Rodney Washington is flying the other way, is certainly a choice.
Goodness gracious, man. Inbound, right wing into the corner. Tinsworth. Bounce it down low to King. King baseline, back outside to Buckley Jr. Lobs it out, stolen away by Washington. Hang on to the roof, and he'll lay it in instead. Usually in transition, he'll just go over the dunk, but he said, you know what, the game's too important right now to risk that with someone trailing me. 49-48, almost got another ball back. He looks at his ball handler and says, let's keep going. I'm having fun. Top of the key, right wing three, Tinsworth won't get it. Hill grabs the rebound. Chance for McAlester to take the lead, 49-48. Washington lost the ball, gathers it back around the perimeter. Lob pass over to Pouncil. Pouncil takes the left wing three, too strong. Hill tries getting it back, but it was draped on top of Jay Oates, and that'll be a foul on Hill, his first.
But that's why you like having a guy like Caven Hill being able to get down there and get those tough rebounds around those taller guys that Will Rogers has that we've talked about. As you mentioned, plenty of guys over 6 foot on that squad.
4:13 left in the third. Again, this game has mainly just been a 1-point game for really a majority of it. Whether it's been McAlester in the lead for the majority of the first half or so far in the second, Will Rogers. Hill drives on Dooney, up for two. Wide open missed shot. Smith eventually gets the rebound. Now will push it. Lost the ball, gathers it back. Doesn't have the numbers. Tried swiping it over to Pouncil, and it's last touched by a Roper.
I think we've got a sub here for the Ropers. But McAlester now gets it baseline inbound.
Smith looking. We'll give it to Hill, straight back to Smith, far corner three, painted gold. McAlester retakes the lead. 51-49, we have combined for 100, and we're not even to the fourth quarter. 3:41 left in the third.
15 now for Smith. He's 2 of 4 from deep.
He's having a nice bounce-back game. He only had 5 against Will Rogers last time. He said that's not going to happen again. Mitchell out into the near sideline, passes right side to Tinsworth. Tinsworth tries driving on Smith. Low post, stops. Cross-court pass, far corner, Hammond, wide open three, won't go. Offensive board, King, quick put back, ties the game. 51-51. 3:16 left in the third.
There's some more of those second chance opportunities hurting McAlester.
Dooney near sideline with the pass from Dooney across the timeline. Soft bounce pass back to the circle to Washington. Washington approaches the three-point line and drives towards the rim, draws contact. 2 is good. Rodney Washington, 29 points. He's already 5 away from tying his career high. By the way, not the fourth quarter yet. Mitchell driving, lost control of the ball, still gathered it back and scored and had something to say after. I love this. 53-53. 2:46 left in the third. This has been the game of the night, regardless of where you're at in Oklahoma. Wow. Far sideline, Dooney.
And we had a near buzzer beater in game 1.
Yeah. Dooney dives after the ball after he lost it, gathered back by Smith after it was tipped. Smith being pushed around in the front court, and there's the whistle.
Yeah, getting a little handsy defensively there. I understand wanting to try to make a play on the ball, but just a little too much contact, and McAlester gets the call.
Tinsworth's okay. That's only his first personal. Second team foul. Both teams have 2 apiece with 2:31 left in the third quarter. By the way, while we have a little bit of a stoppage, Philip Jewell Jr. saying the Jewell House is watching. Loving Uncle BG, Uncle Chase, and the Buffs. 53-53. Let us know where you're listening or watching from on Twitter at Buff Sports Radio. Again, that's Twitter at Buff Sports Radio here. 2:25 left in the third. Here's a skip that's almost intercepted. Dooney's able to gather control of the ball, and there will be a timeout called by Coach Dooney. That's only the first timeout that either coach has used so far with 2:21 left in the third. They know they're going to need them a little bit later on. 53 all is our score. We'll be back in 30 here on KNED.
At Fenton Nissan, we keep you moving with our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles.
Every pre-owned vehicle receives a 126-point inspection.
We have close relationships with over 20 financial institutions to keep you moving in a new-to-you vehicle of your dreams.
Visit Fenton Nissan for a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, great trade-in values, and the best deal.
Don't forget to tell them Morgan sent ya.
Fenton Nissan is your best deal dealer. Shop us online now at fentonnissan.com.
There's our first used timeout by Coach Dooney with 2:21 left in the third. He has 4 remaining, and Coach Buckley has 5, all 5. 53-53 is our score. Pouncil gets the inbound from Smith as McAlester retains possession in this tie game, 53 all. Still in the second quarter, 2:15 left in it, if I hadn't mentioned that. Right wing, Smith. Reverse of the screen into the baseline. Bickham, baseline jumper, got it! As he falls to the hardwood, McAlester retakes the lead. 55-53. We got Nathan and Casey tuning in saying go Buffs as well. Thank you all for checking in. McAlester leading a good one here, 55-53. That's been back and forth all night long. And Harper, hi, how you doing? Harper is watching back from home as well. Daddy loves you, Harper. Left elbow 2 will go as well. Caleb Mitchell ties the game, and we just continue to trade punches.
Both teams have just about made 20 shots. Will Rogers with 22, McAlester at 18. Both shooting. McAlester 51%, the Ropers 49.
95 seconds left in the third. 55-55, and here comes number 5. Pouncil drives, kicks at Bickham. Bickham into the paint. Bickham for 2, banks it in. Now it's Bickham's turn. Puts on the jacket, 57-55. He's hopping with a little bit of enthusiasm now. Mitchell to the corner. Hammond hands back off over to Mitchell. Mitchell didn't start this game, but he's got a lot of minutes so far today. Mitchell drives, stops, right elbow floater won't go. Washington with the board. 63 seconds left in the third, 2-point McAlester lead. Smith left alone for a little bit, into the corner, wide open, Pouncil 3, off kilter. A little strong it looked like, rebounded by King on the opposite side of the rim. 51 seconds left in the third. King, entry dribble, right back out, and set up and wait for the offense. King beyond the perimeter, guarded up by Pouncil. Driving, King in the lane, lobs it near corner. 3, nope, Hammond's going to keep it himself. Now give it baseline. Oates for the baseline 2, short. Rebounded by Washington. 33 seconds left in the third. Washington past one man, towards the rim. Up for a while, 2, can't get it to roll in. Oates handles the ball. 23 seconds left in the third. McAlester with a 2-point advantage. And Will Rogers looks like they're content with the last shot here. King guarded by Pouncil, and we will have a timeout called as soon as King crossed the half-court line with 15 seconds left in the third. We'll take that timeout. Buffaloes lead by 2, 57-55 here on KNED.
Don't let heating and cooling issues break your heart this February. At Freeze and Flare Heat and Air, we know there's nothing worse than dealing with an uncomfortable home. Whether you're trying to stay warm on a chilly night or beat the heat on an unseasonably warm afternoon, our expert team is here to make sure your system is running perfectly. Show your HVAC system some love this month, and let us ensure you stay cozy, comfortable, and carefree all season long. We are licensed, bonded, and insured. Mechanical license number 001444485.
15 seconds left in the third, and I dare you to find a better game tonight through 3 quarters of play. It's been back and forth this game. The largest lead by either team has been 7 by McAlester. Will Rogers led by 6 at one point. McAlester now with the 2-point lead. 15 seconds left in the third. Both teams have 4 timeouts remaining in the dying seconds of this third quarter. Mitchell will do the inbound duties far sideline. Out of the Buckley timeout. They'll inbound to King, far sideline, 13 seconds left. King directing traffic, telling Hammond to get to the high post. Now pressured up, backpedaling, throws it to Jefferson. Jefferson kicks far corner, 3 seconds. At the buzzer, Hammond hit the side of the backboard, offensive rebound. That putback is good. So not quite at the buzzer, but Jay Oates gets the offensive rebound and puts it back in to tie the game heading to the fourth. And what a game. I'm going to say it 1,000 times tonight, but it is 57-57 as we head to the fourth. Put those 4s up in the air, Buff fans. You're not going to want to miss this. You're listening to McAlester Buffalo Basketball here on KNED.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester says to all Oklahomans, your voice and your dream to buy a new or used vehicle starts today at Patriot CDJR in McAlester.
Take $17,000 off Ram 1500 trucks or get 0.9% financing for 72 months. Take $15,000 off 2500 Bighorns.
Together, we will make Oklahoma car buying great again.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester. Ram MSRP 57605. Bighorn 76845.
McAlester Direct Primary Care offers 24/7 access to your provider, deeply discounted rates on labs and imaging, more time with your provider, same day or next day appointments, and even home visits for it.
And nobody scored here, almost 2 minutes in.
Short corner, far side. Smith back out to Dooney. Top of the key, back to Smith, right wing. Smith back to Washington. 6 minutes left. Pouncil back to the top of the key. Smith thought about the straightaway three. Instead, bounce pass at left elbow. Dooney back outside to Washington. Washington, as Smith was ran over. Oh, gosh. Washington, watch out. He tried doing kind of an in-between the legs layup, and he almost took out an official. Foul will be on Caleb Mitchell. That's his third. By the way, for those watching on the video stream, we should be caught back up now. But if we, for whatever reason, have any issues and you want to not miss a minute of the action, again, the KNED app, make sure that you're tuning in that way as well. You'll be able to catch it all that way. But had some internet issues, but it looks like we're all good to go again.
Yeah, we're back.
Surprisingly, didn't miss any points.
Yeah, you didn't miss a single point after all the points we've had so far. We had 57-57 through the third quarter with 5:45 left here in the fourth. It's still that score. Washington contested two, banks it in. And just like that, hey, you didn't miss anything on the stream until then. 2 points by Rodney Washington. He's up to 31. McAlester leading 59-57 in this back and forth. I wouldn't call it a chess match. It is a boxing match here tonight.
31 on just 9 made field goals.
That's insane.
It's insane efficiency.
King driving, kicking near corner over to the right wing. Titsworth for three in the lead. No good. Offensive board. Putback is good by King, and that is where McAlester is really struggling in the second half. It's the putbacks.
Yeah, because that was really good defense. That's the shot you want them to take, a contested three. It's just you got to be able to get that rebound.
Pouncil down the middle of the floor into the low post. Two is up, and McAlester retakes the lead. Davian Pouncil, his third and fourth points of the game, 61-59. Long pass in the corner. Three-pointer up by Hammond, short. Washington with the rebound, and he'll take it with them.
Goes the double-double as well.
2-on-3 to Smith. Back beyond the perimeter, waits for his offense. Skips it over to the right front court. Dooney looks around, back to Smith, left wing into the corner. Pouncil wide open. He'll take the near corner three. Too strong. Washington offensive board. Back outside. Smith's turn. Paint it cold. Brandon Smith puts McAlester up by 5 with a big-time three.
He's got 18, passing his season average of 17. Man, just what a game this has turned into. A 5-point lead here in the fourth for McAlester.
Mid-range area, Crossland knocks over Dooney. Two is up and good. Dooney kind of sold that a little bit there. He's lucky he doesn't call it the flopping foul. But I understand the intentions there. It was a mismatch there for Dooney. Did what he could. Lob to the circle. 4:05 left in the game. Bigham on the drive. Bigham for two. He ran over a man, but it's a blocking foul called. And that means Bigham goes to the charity stripe with 4:02 left in the game. This is our first trip to the free throw line in the fourth quarter. It's brought to you by Big V Feed Center. For your animals' needs plus winter feed booking prices, call 918-426-1951. Bigham on the season a 55% free throw shooter. He was 1 of 1 from the line against Will Rogers back in January. He was 1 of 2 from the line against Edison last Friday. Bigham's first free throw is short. You can see it as soon as he left go of the ball. Important free throw here for Bigham that makes it a 2-possession game. And Wesley Phillips will check in for Dooney.
I would assume Dooney probably doesn't sit too long here. But also 24 over here for the Ropers. That was his 4th foul as well.
Wow.
So just 1 away from disqualification. That would be huge.
And he's staying in.
Yeah.
No one to come in for him. Bigham makes the second free throw, and we do have it at a 2-possession game. 65-61, halfway through the fourth quarter. Again, the final score in this one in January back in Tulsa was 65-63. Near corner, Crossland takes a spot up three. Got it, and that is why he's still in the game. He blows a kiss to the student section. 65-64. That's a cool three-point celebration, though, I'm not going to lie. He did it with the final 3 fingers on the right hand. 65-64, McAlester back up by 1.
I will say, as good as they shot in the first half, 7 of 15 for 3, the Ropers, they are just 2 of 10 here from 3 in the second half.
Wow.
So staunch difference there. That's why this game is slowed down.
Bigham far sideline also picked up his dribble, and as soon as he saw that, Coach Dooney knew he had to take another timeout. He'll have 3 remaining. McAlester leading by a slim 1-point lead, 65-64, 3:24 left in the game. You're listening to McAlester Basketball here on KNED.
Stipe Law Firm, your first call when the unthinkable strikes for over 80 years. We focus on wrongful death, personal injury, truck and oil field accidents, insurance bad faith, probate, end-of-life preparation, and Social Security disability claims. We are here to advocate for you in all of your legal needs. We are a full-service law firm with over a century of experience representing Oklahomans across the state professionally and discreetly. We win our cases in courtrooms, not on social media. Call today, 918-423-0421, or go online to stipelaw.com.
Timeout, looking for revenge after just a narrow 2-point loss back on January 3rd, 65-63. Buffs trying to get them back at their place. And if this game is going to end, so nice job by McAlester getting back and set up. 3:04 left. In 1 point McAlester lead.
And neither team close to that foul limit, so shouldn't have to deal with a lot of free throws here.
Cross-court pass, spot up three. Titsworth can't make it. Offensive rebound by King flying in. King to the right wing. Oates thought about the corner pass instead of keep it himself. Back outside to King, who takes his place on the Buffalo logo right side. Back straight away. Oates for the lead. Short. Another offensive rebound. Baseline 2. Blocked by Washington. Taken back. Once again, Mitchell with the offensive rebound. Crossan pulls up for the lead. Won't get that one either. And Smith says, finally, I'll do it myself. Across the half-court line. Stops, waits for the offense. Had Bickham streaking open. They'll give it down to Bickham low post. Bickham, spin move, lost the ball off of his leg out of bounds. 2:21 left in the game. Buffalo's up by 1, 65-64.
Who lost that out of bounds?
That was Bickham right there.
That was quite the sequence over here on the stats side.
How many offensive rebounds on that one trip?
Oh.
Had to be like 4.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, there was 3 offensive rebounds.
King right wing, guarded by Washington. Works off the screen, dribbles to the top of the key. Now drives for the lead. Floater up, banks it in. Rovers take a 66-65 lead. 2-minute warning. Both teams two team fouls apiece. McAlester with 3 fouls. Will Rogers with 4. Rodney right over a man will score and 1. Rodney Washington, have yourself a night. Jay Oates charged with a foul. That is his 3rd. And this to give McAlester a 2-point advantage.
Also, this would be to tie his career high if he knocks this one in. 33 for the young fella, 10 of 14 from the field.
He's had a night to remember. Free throw is on the way. Got it. And it's a 68-66 game. Boy, if you came to watch this game, it was well worth the price of admission, especially if you caught the girls' game too. That one ended 45-43 on a near buzzer beater by Bodie Nystrom.
Not a bad way to start the week.
No, not one bit, especially after wrestling defeated Hilldale yesterday in dominant fashion on senior night. 90 seconds left. Mitchell trying to cross over Dooney. Into the paint he goes. Floater for the tie. Got it. It's 68-68. 1:23 left. Washington quickly across the timeline towards the low post. Around the world, off the glass, couldn't get it back. Mitchell with the key rebound here with 1:15 left. Mitchell down the floor to Crossland into the corner. Titsworth passes man back into the low post. Crossland gives his team the lead. 70-68. A quick 4-point swing here for the Ropers. 1:02 left in the game. 1 minute. Washington to Smith. Right wing into the corner. Bickham. Back to Smith. Intercepted, but he's out of bounds. He'll stay with McAlester here. After slipping and falling, after getting the steal, was Titsworth.
That's huge. That is absolutely huge to get that possession back. That could have been detrimental. Put you down by 2, by 4, maybe even 5, but now you get the ball back. You've got 51 seconds to work, and you're in no rush here.
And more than anything, they can kill time if they keep that ball, which right now is not on McAllister's side. Just 51 seconds left. We'll have a timeout call by Coach Terrence Buckley of Will Rogers. Both teams will have 3 timeouts remaining. 51 seconds left in this one. Ropers lead 70-68 over the Buffaloes. You won't want to go anywhere. You're going to want to see how this one ends. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on KNED.
Running into an old friend is nice. Running into a total stranger, well, not so good. Now, you don't need help from Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop for those greetings with friends, but if you have one of those unwanted encounters with a stranger, give Buck Wilson a call at 918-423-3161. They are expert craftsmen, specialists. They can straighten out your situation. Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop, 103 East Oklahoma, McAlester. Again, call 918-423-3161.
.51 seconds left. The Ropers lead the Buffaloes 70-68. And this one looking a whole lot like what it looked like in the girls' game. McAlester won that one by 2. Can they do it again here tonight? McAlester Buffaloes will have the ball. Side out, far sideline. It's been this 5 for a majority of the game. No one's really been in foul trouble. Smith, Pouncil, Washington, Bickham, Dooney. Smith will inbound. And here we go. There's the whistle. Smith looks around. Smith lobs, finds Bickham in the front court, hands it back off to Smith. And here we go, and we have an offensive foul right away. Right away with 48 seconds left. And the foul's on Bickham. That's a second.
That's tough. There was a little bit of a push there, so, I mean, I could see it, but, I mean, that's just a tough play to make if you're Bickham in that situation.
And as we just mentioned before that timeout, now time is against you. King to the right wing into the corner. Mitchell traveled! Mitchell traveled in the corner to get the ball right back to the Buffs. You might want to save it for Christmas, but that's a gift.
And one notable thing, neither team in foul trouble really yet for the quarter. Both teams at 3, so both have 2 to give here.
Washington across the half-court line. Dooney not taking the timeout. Washington on the drive towards the rack. He ties it up. 70-70. 36 points, new career high. Freshman Rodney Washington. He's a freshman. King across that court line. 20 seconds left. King guarded by Washington. And a timeout call with 16 on the clock. 70-70 here in the 7-4-5-0-1. We'll take a break and be right back here on KNED.
Now we celebrate.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. From now until the end of January, we are celebrating 10 years of serving and being a part of your community. We'll be running some of our biggest sales and service specials ever, so if you need a vehicle for the family, a truck for your business, or some economical transportation, we have it for you. So come make it happen at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula at our 10-year anniversary sale.
So, checking accounts. There seems like a ton to choose from, right? I was looking for one that didn't charge monthly fees, with bounce protection, and had mobile banking. I found the Bank NA. The Bank NA has been voted #1 for 10 years in a row in the McAlester News Capital's Reader's Choice Awards. The bonus is that they're local, so the money stays in town. Call 918-423-2265 or go in to find what you need in checking options. The Bank NA. Strong, secure, and ready to loan. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
16.5 seconds. 70-70 our score. The McAlester Buffaloes and the Will Rogers Ropers knotted up in this 5A4 slugfest. Ropers with the basketball, far sideline, and Coach Dooney, before we can even see what we're going to have coming up, wants to call a timeout to see what the Ropers line up in. Because, again, Will Rogers can wait for the last shot and say that we're not going to give McAlester a chance to win this game. While we have the time, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford, The Bank N.A., Fitton Nissan, Friesen Flair Heat and Air, Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram McAlester, McAlester Direct Primary Care, Stipe Law Firm, and Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop. Thank you guys for putting us on the air, not just tonight, but all season long. I'm your voice of the Buffaloes, Brandon Green, joined alongside by Chase McNutt. Chase, what a night we've had tonight.
What a night we've had, my man. I mean, we saw 53, I believe, 54 combined points in that first quarter. I mean, we knew we were in for a treat from that point on, and that's what we've gotten. 2 teams making shots at a high level, but defense has picked up a little bit more here in the second half, and especially here in the fourth quarter, things have slowed way, way down, but this one's going to end up coming down to the final shot. I mean, if not, we're going to get free basketball on this Tuesday night. And also one thing I wanted to, I mentioned earlier, the fouls are still at 3-3, so both teams have fouls to give here. If you're McAlester, if you're getting beat down the baseline or to the rack, just grab him and make sure he's not shooting the basketball. That's very important.
Yes.
And make sure you're making a play on the ball so you don't get an intentional call. But just that's something to keep in the back of your mind because it's there to help you if you need it.
Coach Dooney going over every single scenario that he can. It's Smith, Bickham, Dooney, Washington, and Pouncil on the floor. It's Oates, Crossland, Titsworth, Mitchell, and King on the floor for the Ropers. It will be a Mitchell inbound far sideline right of the media table. Into the backcourt, and here we go. Hold your breath. 12 seconds. McAlester applying pressure immediately. And now a quick timeout as we have forced Terrence Buckley to have to call a timeout as I don't think he was expecting all that pressure immediately with the pass into the backcourt. 10.3 seconds left in the game, 70-70, and after we have another full timeout, we'll take one more 30-second break and return here on KNED.
At Fenton Nissan, we keep you moving with our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles.
Every pre-owned vehicle receives a 126-point inspection.
We have close relationships with over 20 financial institutions to keep you moving in a new-to-you vehicle of your dreams.
Visit Fenton Nissan for a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, great trade-in values, and the best deal.
Don't forget to tell them Morgan sent ya.
Fenton Nissan is your best deal dealer. Shop us online now at fentonnissan.com.
.3 seconds left. Buffaloes and Ropers tied up 70-70. After Coach Terrence Buckley of the Will Rogers Ropers uses his second to last timeout, he has one left. Dooney has two. McAlester trying to get the ball back, or if anything, trying to force overtime right now. 10.3 seconds left. Another side out, this time in the backcourt. Crossland will do the honors. What did Coach Buckley draw up? What is Dooney going to defend? Crossland inbounds to Oates. Oates looks around, 8 seconds. Into the backcourt, King. King past Pouncil, 5 seconds. King to the top of the key, stops, restarts, into the paint. Floaters up, off kilter. Zeros on the clock, we got free basketball. Coach Dooney says come here with a calmness to him that would let a baby go to sleep right now. But hey, keep him up. We got great basketball coming in. 4 minutes on the clock. 70-70 is our score. And I don't know how he's so calm because my heart is beating out of my chest. Don't go anywhere. We'll take 30 seconds. We'll have another tip-off coming up in just a moment here on KNED.
Don't let heating and cooling issues break your heart this February. At Freeze and Flare Heat and Air, we know there's nothing worse than dealing with an uncomfortable home. Whether you're trying to stay warm on a chilly night or beat the heat on an unseasonably warm afternoon, our expert team is here to make sure your system is running perfectly. Show your HVAC system some love this month and let us ensure you stay cozy, comfortable, and carefree all season long. We are licensed, bonded, and insured. Mechanical license number 001-44485.
Free basketball in McAlester, well worth the price of admission. I don't think that anyone's ever been upset with their ticket bought tonight. We had a buzzer beater nearly for the McAlester Lady Buffaloes in a 45-43 win. And we have overtime between the Buffaloes and the Will Rogers Ropers, where the largest lead we've had is 7 points. About to have tip-off brought to you by McAlester Clothing Consignment. They're getting some extra love, too. Accepts consignments Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays and offers a 50-50 split. Consign with us and pick up great bargains. 1212 South Main McAlester behind Dollar General. Washington inside the circle with Crossland. Ball in the air. Tip is won dominantly by Will Rogers, and we have free basketball in the Heartland. Quick pass inside, almost stolen by Washington. Taken back, right elbow. Titsworth gets it back outside. King with the basketball. He had the chance at the win earlier. Just missed it and dribbles to the right wing. Bounce pass inside to Crossland. Playing with 4 fouls right now. Backs up Dooney. Swing pass into the corner. Deep in the corner. Now to the left wing to Titsworth. Back straight away. Now to King. Wide open right wing three. Will not go. Rims out. Offensive board Crossland. Crossland for 2. He's fouled and 1. That has been McAllister's thorn in their side. Has been the offensive rebounding primarily by Brandon Crossland. Major height advantage, plus he has a vertical for days. That foul will be on Pouncil. That is his 4th. And also, credit to Terrence Buckley playing Crossland this entire time with 4 fouls. We're not in overtime if it's not for that.
And you've got to find a way to foul him out if you're McAlester.
Free throw is up and missed, though. It's still a 2-point game, 72-70.
Will Rogers somehow in this game shooting 3 of 9 from the free throw line.
Way better from the field than they are from the line.
Yeah.
Smith into the corner. Pouncil thought about the baseline pass, will instead get it back out. Between the rings, Washington starts his dribble. Guarded by Mitchell. Crosses him over to the right elbow. Now drives in. Tough 2, won't go, but he's fouled. This trip to the charity stripe brought to you by Big V Feed Center for your animals' needs, plus winter feed booking prices. Call 918-426-1951. Rodney Washington getting close to the 40-point club. Already in a new career high.
He's made 11 free throws here tonight as well. 11 of 13.
The foul, by the way, was on Jay Oates. That's his 4th. Both post players with 4 fouls. First one made by Rodney. He gives his imaginary friends high fives and makes his way back to the line. But he's got a friend in Brandon Smith right there who is right by the 3-point line. 1-point game. This one to tie it. Rodney with a big deep breath. Second free throw. Made. Nothing but a thing. He points up to the sky. 72-72. He's got 38. King across the half-court line will settle in left side. Bounce pass down low to Oates. Oates runs over Davian Pouncil. That's foul number 5 on Oates. Oates will have to take a seat. One of the starters for the Ropers. And guess who's the first one to grab the mop? Brandon Smith will clean the spot where Pouncil fell over. That was either going to be foul number 5 on Pouncil or foul number 5 on Oates. That is a big-time risk there by Davian Pouncil, and it pays off huge for McAlester.
And something like that, you always get in danger of possibly being called for a flop. But he did a really good job of taking the contact there. And, I mean, it looked extremely realistic there that he took all that contact and hit the deck. So great play.
Checking in was Terrence Buckley Jr. driving in. Dooney, draw contact. Got it! Alex Dooney, the senior. Counted and one. And a chance to complete the three-point play, Alex Dooney. That was his first made shot from the field of the night here in overtime with 2:47 left in it. Dooney completes the three-point play. McAlester up by 3, 75-72.
5-0 run here for the Buffs.
And it goes right through the hands on a long pass to Terrence Buckley Jr.,
who, by the way, just checked in for Oates. So that shows you how big that play was.
Buckley has to come right back out, and Hammond checking back in. McAlester in a good spot right now, but again, things can change just on a dime. McAlster's got to be careful. They've given the ball up to Will Rogers before. Top of the key, driving in, Rodney Washington, tough 2, nothing but a thing. 40-point club, 40-piece, Rodney Washington.
Easy. It's too easy.
Top of the key, Mitchell steps into a 3, banks it in. Caleb Mitchell, 16 points off the bench and brings it to a 2-point game.
The 10th made 3 of the night for the Ropers.
Bickham between the circles. Back to Washington, double teamed. Around a man, lost the ball, gathers it back into the corner. Pouncil spin move around a man, has to pick up his dribble. Timeout called by Coach Dooney. Each coach got one timeout added after regulation, so now he has 2 remaining. 2:02 left in the 5th period. Yes, we're in overtime. Free basketball. Buffaloes lead 77-75. We'll take a break and be back here on KNED.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester says to all Oklahomans, your voice and your dream to buy a new or used vehicle starts today at Patriot CDJR in McAlester.
Take $17,000 off Ram 1500 trucks or get 0.9% financing for 72 months. Take $15,000 off 2500 Bighorns.
Together, we will make Oklahoma car buying great again.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester. Ram MSRP 57605. Bighorn 76845.
McAlester Direct Primary Care offers 24/7 access to your provider, deeply discounted rates on labs and imaging, more time with your provider, same day or next day appointments, and even home visits for a flat monthly membership fee. We now offer hormone replacement therapy in addition to our other services. For more information, please stop by our office, McAlester Direct Primary Care at 6th and Carl Albert, or give us a call at 918-233-6522.
2:02 left in the first overtime. 77-75 McAlester leads. Here's an inbound to Bickham, low post. Bickham to the left elbow. Pouncil on the dribble. Spin around jump shot, won't get it to go. Too strong with the shot, crossing with the rebound. 77-75 McAlester leading by 2. King across the half-court line for the Ropers. Dribbles high post into the paint. 2 is too hard off the glass. Rebounded by Bickham. Bickham lost it back. Crossing with the steal. And there'll be a timeout called quickly by head coach Terrence Buckley of Will Rogers. Not being able to handle the ball there was Bickham after it was swiped loose. And we'll go back to it. Well, this is going to be just a 30-second timeout. So, again, 30 seconds, and we'll be back. 1:42 left in the first overtime. Buffaloes lead 77-75 on KNED.
Stipe Law Firm, your first call when the unthinkable strikes for over 80 years. We focus on wrongful death, personal injury, truck and oil field accidents, insurance bad faith, probate, end-of-life preparation, and Social Security disability claims. We are here to advocate for you in all of your legal needs. We are a full-service law firm with over a century of experience representing Oklahomans across the the state professionally and discreetly. We win our cases in courtrooms, not on social media. Call today, 918-423-0421, or go online to stipelaw.com.
With the introduction of district play, this might turn into a rivalry here. 77-75, both teams young teams as well. Buffaloes lead by 2, 1:42 left in overtime. Here's an inbound crossing, grabs it, lost it by Dooney, gathers it back, here's for the tie, got it. 77-77 as Crossland is up to 20 points. Ropers will press, as now they back up as soon as they saw Rodzilla with the basketball. Gets into the corner, has to jump, pass it to Bigham, who couldn't handle the ball, tips it to Dooney. Dooney can't handle it. Does Coach Dooney call a timeout first? No. There was no possession, and McAlester gives the ball right back up.
That's tough. That's why it's really hard to put yourself in a position where you're jumping to make a pass like Rodney did there, and he had to just fire a bullet to Bigham that he just couldn't handle.
Tie game 77-77. Neither team will give up tonight. King, lob pass finding its way to Titsworth. About 10 feet from the three-point line, dribbles up a little bit closer to the top of King now, to Hammond. Hammond back to Titsworth. Tries spinning it down low, nothing there. Driving in, Titsworth. Back outside left wing, nearly double dribble. I think it was swatted first. Crossing with the ball, back to the right wing. Mitchell, 52 seconds left in this tie game in overtime. Inside the perimeter. King, long pass into the corner. Hammond driving baseline. Hammond floater over Smith, got it. Ropers have a 79-77 lead. Smith spins around Titsworth. Smith across the half-court line towards the rim. Euro step right past him, can't finish at the rim. King's got the rebound, and quickly Bigham will foul with 33 seconds left.
Well, that's exactly what you want. He got right to the rim, got around the defense, had a good look. It just didn't fall. Sometimes that happens in basketball.
It's been a great night for Smith, too.
Yeah.
Put himself in a great position to even make that play. But Sean King at the free throw line with a chance to get his team up by 2 possessions after they've already gone on a 7-0 run that started with a Caleb Mitchell prayer 3 that banked in. First free throw is no good. They continue to struggle from the line, Chase.
Just 3 of 10. It blows my mind how they're shooting so well from the field, conversely so bad from the free throw line.
Still 1 possession game regardless here. Second free throw is made. It's a 3-point game, though. Inbound to Washington, 30 seconds left. 80-77, McAlester down. Rodney, as soon as he crosses the half-court line, Coach Dooney has something in mind. Calls a timeout with 27 seconds on the clock. Ropers lead 80-77 over the Buffaloes. We'll take a quick break and return. You're listening to McAlester Buffalo basketball here in OT on KNED.
Running into an old friend is nice. Running into a total stranger, well, not so good. Now, you don't need help from Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop for those greetings with friends, but if you have one of those unwanted encounters with a stranger, give Buck Wilson a call at 918-423-3161. They are expert craftsmen, specialists. They can straighten out your situation. Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop, 103 East Oklahoma, McAlester. Again, call 918-423-3161.
Well, one of the first things that happened when the MAC was built was we need to make new memories in this place. This is a prime opportunity to be able to make a memory. 80-77, the Will Rogers Ropers lead the McAlester Buffaloes. This is how you start to get a little bit of history behind a gymnasium. Can the McAlester Buffaloes, down by 3 with 27 seconds left, get this back to even? Chase McNutt alongside me, Brandon Green. We have Alex Dooney, Devion Bigham, Davian Pouncil playing with 4 fouls, Rodney Washington with a 40-piece tonight, and Brandon Smith on the floor. McAlester basketball, side out. Trying to find someone as Dooney. Dooney in trouble, still needs to get rid of it, and he didn't do so in time. That's the one thing you couldn't do. 5 seconds went by, Dooney couldn't get it in, and it gives the ball back to the Ropers.
That was great defense by the Ropers. They knew exactly what McAlester wanted to do. They were trying to set an elevator screen for Rodney to the top of the key to get him a good look, and they read it perfectly. So props to them. That was a good defensive play.
Both teams with 1 timeout left. Inbound to Mitchell. And a travel right away. Caleb Mitchell traveled on the far sideline. Mitchell's bewildered. And he gives the ball back to the Buffs by the media table. And Coach Dooney says, let's do this again. He burns his final timeout with 26 seconds left, and the Buffaloes trailing by 3, 80-77. We'll take one more break in return here on KNED.
Now we celebrate.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. From now until the end of January, we are celebrating 10 years of serving and being a part of your community. We'll be running some of our biggest sales and service specials ever, so if you need a vehicle for the family, a truck for your business, or some economical transportation, we have it for you. So come make it happen at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula at our 10-year anniversary sale.
Are you still up with us? 80-77, the Will Rogers Ropers lead the McAlester Buffaloes 80-77 here in overtime in this 5A4 district bout. McAlester trying to climb up the 5A4 standings. Will Rogers trying to stay right there at 2 with a chance at 1 later on in February. Buffaloes down by a tray. Buffaloes could not inbound the ball last time. A second chance here after a Will Rogers turnover on a travel. Dooney will inbound far sideline. He can pick him on the floor with Pouncil, Washington, and Smith. 26.5 seconds left in the first overtime. Could be the only one. Inbound to Bickham. 24 seconds. Bickham lobs to Washington. Washington gathers. Near corner. Step back. 3 for the tie. Airballed. Rebounded. Dooney. 17 seconds. Lob to Bickham. Straight away 3 for the tie. In and out. Dooney fighting for the board. Taken back by the Will Rogers Ropers. Came down the floor. Got a foul. And Dooney's the one to do it. With 7 seconds left, they had 2 chances at the tie. Couldn't get either one of them, but they were both close. The first one was on target by Washington. Might have been blocked. It was close, but again, it was grazing the bottom of the netting. Bickham had the chance. Hasn't taken a lot of three-point attempts on the season, but that was just popped out.
Yeah.
The gym nearly erupted.
A very unforgiving role here at home.
King with 2 more free throw attempts. First one is up, and no good. It's still a chance. If King misses his next free throw, McAlester still has a chance.
They have no more timeouts, though, so they have to just pick it up and advance it regardless of what happens on this shot.
Biggest free throw of the game here for the Will Rogers Ropers. Sean King, the southpaw. Spelled out. Rebounded by Bickham. Washington's got it with 6 seconds. 5 seconds. Down the near sideline. 3, 2, 1. Ball gets knocked out with 1.4. We have a shot here. No timeouts remaining for Dooney. So what do you got? Coach Dooney trying his best while he's got the time to explain things to his team.
Rodney's limping a little bit.
1 shot for double overtime.
Where do you go here? Rodney feels like the easy answer.
Inbound, Pouncil, got to get rid of it. They just throw it away. There was no chance. And that's the ball game. But what a game did we have. The Will Rogers Ropers would not lay off The Buffaloes wouldn't either, just simply put, and I'm at a loss for words on this game. It is one of the best games you're going to find in Oklahoma high school basketball, but unfortunately for the home team, it goes to the Ropers, and now that's 2 losses to Will Rogers, the number 2 team in 5A4 by a combined 5 points, with one of those games going to overtime. But every time that these 2 teams meet, doesn't matter if it's the boys or if it's the girls, it seems like it's a slugfest down to the end, and that's what we had yet again here in McAlester, Oklahoma. But our final score again in overtime, the Ropers defeat the Buffaloes 80-77. We'll recap it all when we return. You're listening to McAlester Buffalo Basketball here on KNED.
So, checking accounts. There seems like a ton to choose from, right? I was looking for one that didn't charge monthly fees, with bounce protection, and had mobile banking. I found the Bank NA. The Bank NA has been voted #1 for 10 years in a row in the McAlester News Capital's Reader's Choice Awards. The bonus is that they're local, so the money stays in town. Call 918-423-2265 or go in to find what you need in checking options. The Bank NA. Strong, secure, and ready to loan. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Fenton Nissan, we keep you moving with our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles.
Every pre-owned vehicle receives a 126-point inspection.
We have close relationships with over 20 financial institutions to keep you moving in a new-to-you vehicle of your dreams.
Visit Fenton Nissan for a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, great trade-in values, and the best deal.
Don't forget to tell them Morgan sent ya.
Fenton Nissan is your best deal dealer. Shop us online now at fentonnissan.com.
Don't let heating and cooling issues break your heart this February. At Freeze and Flare Heat and Air, we know there's nothing worse than dealing with an uncomfortable home. Whether you're trying to stay warm on a chilly night or beat the heat on an unseasonably warm afternoon, our expert team is here to make sure your system is running perfectly. Show your HVAC system some love this month, and let us ensure you stay cozy, comfortable, and carefree all season long. We are licensed, bonded, and insured. Mechanical license number 001444485.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester says to all Oklahomans, your voice and your dream to buy a new or used vehicle starts today at Patriot CDJR in McAlester.
Take $17,000 off Ram 1500 trucks or get 0.9% financing for 72 months. Take $15,000 off 2500 Bighorns.
Together, we will make Oklahoma car buying great again.
Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in McAlester. Ram MSRP 57605. Bighorn 76845.
McAlester Direct Primary Care offers 24/7 access to your provider, deeply discounted rates on labs and imaging, more time with your provider, same day or next day appointments, and even home visits for a flat monthly membership fee. We now offer hormone replacement therapy in addition to our other services. For more information, please stop by our office, McAlester Direct Primary Care at 6th and Carl Albert, or give us a call at 918-233-6522.
Well, tonight we learned that basketball giveth and basketball taketh away. In the girls' game earlier today, we had a near buzzer beater by Bodie Nystrom that gave McAlester a 45-43 win over the Will Rogers Lady Ropers. But then we look at the boys' game and what was, again, just a back-and-forth game for the entirety of our time that we called tonight. We ended up calling 36 minutes of basketball, and the largest lead that we had by either team was 7 points. For a majority of the night, it was a 1.2.3 3-point game. And in overtime, it was the Will Rogers Ropers that outlasted the McAlester Buffaloes in a final score of 80-77. And that is our final here tonight as McAlester drops their second game in a row, both in district play. They are now 4-6 in district play. We're going to have to see what happened with Tahlequah tonight, who was also 4-5. Because we'll see if McAlester drops in the standings or if they stay put at 4. But again, final score 80-77. Let's look at our post-game stats brought to you by Barlow Built Performance and Automotive. They're your full-service automotive and transmission repair shop, brake work, and heat and air repair. Plus, we do MIG and TIG welding. We're McAllister's only full-time exhaust shop. From race cars to your grandma's cars, we do it all. We sell tires and wheels. Barlow Built Performance and Automotive, 2201 North Main Street in McAlester. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 918-318-0323. And although it wasn't what McAlester wanted, Rodney Washington still put on a heck of a show tonight.
Yeah. Running out of adjectives to describe what that young man has done this season, but tonight a new career high, got the 40-burger for the first time. He made 12 of 18 field goals from the floor, also 3 of 6 from the three-point line. He was also 13 of 15 from the free throw line. I don't know which is more impressive, but they're both up there. Oh, also, how about this? 11 rebounds. So a 40-point double-double. You don't see that a lot.
No.
And we have not seen that a lot here at McAlester either. He also had 2 monster blocks to go along with that as well. Behind him, Brandon Smith, who was my player to watch coming into this one. He finished with 18 points, shot 6 of 14. Also, like Rodney, went 3 of 6 from 3, and he went 3 of 4 from the free throw line. He also had 6 rebounds of his own, also tallied a block as well. And then Devion Bickham, he had 9 points, also to go with 7 rebounds, so a near double-double for him as well. Also had a steal to go along with it. Alex Dooney, he had 5 points, 3 rebounds, also grabbed a steal. And then we had Devian Pouncil, who had 4 points. And then we also had Wesley Phillips, who had 1 point as well. That is the 77 for your Buffaloes. Now to, I guess, the team side of it for the Buffaloes, they shot 26 of 54 from the field, which is a 48% clip, which if you're shooting like that from the field, you're normally expecting, it's like, oh, okay, well then they won that game if you're only looking at the box score. But for Will Rogers, 33 of 70, 47%. They made 10 3-pointers out of 29 shot, which is a 34% clip. McAlester made 6 of 17 threes, which is a 35% clip. And then this is the biggest discrepancy for me as well as the free throws. McAlester, they shot 26, made 19. That's a 73% clip. Will Rogers shot 13, and they made 4.
Wow.
So, I mean, if they make any more of their free throws, A, that game doesn't go to overtime, and B, it looks a little bit more spread out than what it was that entirety. And the rebounding was almost identical. 31 total rebounds for the Buffs, 30 for Will Rogers. McAlester was out-rebounded on the offensive side, 13-11. And then on the steals, McAlester had 2 steals, but with that, they also forced 10 total turnovers. For McAlester, they had 9 total turnovers of their own, and then blocks were 3-2 in favor of the Buffaloes. So just looking through the team stats, it pretty much represents what the final score was, and that's a close game through the entirety. And just unfortunately for the Buffaloes tonight, they weren't able to pull it out.
And obviously, were there mistakes in the game? Sure, everyone's going to make a mistake. There's no perfect game in basketball, but it was about as well of a played game as you could find between two teams that were at the top of their game tonight as you can be. I mean, that's some of the best that McAllister's looked all season long. Again, 77 for McAlester. That is the second most on the season for them. Third most on the season for them, behind Tahlequah at 80 and Duncan at 79. Is their most points in a loss this year, obviously. That went to overtime. But again, you just found two teams at the top of their game. Neither team could really do any wrong. And which team folded first? I don't think either team folded first. I think you ran out of time.
And if this game goes on another minute or two, maybe we end up getting another tie. It ended up being almost like football. Who has the ball last to win the game? And now that's what it was for this game tonight on the hardwood. Tulsa Will Rogers, they had that 3-point lead as the time ran out, and that's how it ended up finishing.
And by the way, we did get this information from downtown Nate Brown. The Tahlequah Tigers fell to Tulsa Memorial tonight, 57-42. So McAlester stays at the 4th spot in the 5A4 standings. So that's good news. They're going to get to go up against Edison, who is again at 3rd. So McAlester still within striking distance of 3rd, but they have to start winning. Have to start winning now. There's 4 more district games remaining. There's only 1 non-district game left on the schedule. That's this Saturday at home against Hugo. For the boys at 3:30. For the girls at 2. We'll get to their game in just a moment. But again, Will Rogers lost tonight. They'll play Edison on Friday on the road. Tulsa Memorial next Tuesday at home. Then we have at Pryor a week from Friday on Valentine's Day, and then we wrap up the regular season against Tahlequah here at home on February the 18th. So after we look at that and put a bow on that, 80-77 with the final score. Quickly, because we didn't get to really recap the girls' game, we just looked at their stats. Your final thoughts on a fantastic 45-43 win for the girls?
Well, the girls did a really good job of dealing with the early foul trouble from Lesnow and being able to come out with that win without Zoomer being on the floor. Nearly I don't remember how long it was in that second half, but I don't think she played the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was 12 minutes without her. She left about the midway point in the third quarter.
So you played 12 of the 16 second half minutes without your bona fide ball handler and your starter, and they were able to come out with that win. And I think for Coach Bashir's, for Courtney, I think that's something you look at and you can be like, hey, guys, like we can do this. Like it doesn't have to just be one player. We're all capable of coming together and doing something like that and getting that win. And it's a huge win for a team that they lost to, conversely, in what was a 6-point game last time they met. So that's a huge win for them and their club. And correct me if I'm wrong, 4 of the last 5 now? 3 in a row?
They've won 5 out of the last 6.
5 out of the last 6 now.
And 3 in a row.
So, as I mentioned right before the girls' game started, it's not about, for basketball especially, it's not about how you start. It's about when you can get hot. And right now, into the start of February, it's the perfect time for the Lady Buffs to get hot, and they have.
And what's crazy is, again, they go to Tulsa Edison on Friday, which McAlester played, I'm going to say it, a terrible game against Edison last Friday and still won by 5. If McAlester can win the game as they should on Friday, you're just keep on climbing up. That's 4 wins in a row. That's 6 out of your last 7. And then you have Hugo, which, again, we saw them over in Hugo. They're a beatable team. I know that's not going to count towards the playoffs, but then you have Tulsa Memorial. McAlester played them close for 4 quarters. Then you have Pryor. McAlester nearly came back. You saw that game. And McAlester nearly came back and made something of that game. And then you have Tahlequah, which this is a much different team that McAlester has right now than that went to Tahlequah back in the season opener. So I'm excited to see how the season ends for the Lady Buffaloes. They improved to 5-11 and have a pretty favorable schedule the rest of the way to be able to keep on climbing up the 5A4 standings if they show up each night. And the McAlester Buffaloes 10-9, but man, they're right there. That was the second best team in 5A4 and a team that nearly beat Tulsa Memorial twice. Yeah. And they still were just about there to be able to get the win here. So I'm excited about both their futures. Keep on grinding at it, Coach Bashir's, Coach Dooney, and all the players, and we're excited to see where the rest of the season takes us as we get ready for, first off, Friday back on the road as we end this mini 3-game home stretch. So, Chase, can you thank our sponsors one final time, and we will call it a night here in what was a really great night of basketball.
Yes, sir. It's my pleasure. Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford, the Bank N.A., Fenton Nissan, Friesen Flair Heat and Air, Patriot Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram McAlester, McAlester Direct Primary Care, Stipe Law Firm, and Buck Wilson Frame and Body Shop.
Big thank you to our board operator, Austin Wheaton, for his work tonight, to Nate for his work on the video stream, and thank you, the listener, for spending your Tuesday night with us. One final time from the McAlester Activity Center, a.k.a. the MAC in McAlester, Oklahoma. The girls won with 3 seconds on the clock. Bodie Nystrom, right block 2 for a 45-43 win. For the boys, close game, but close but no cigar. 80-77 in overtime to fall to the Will Rogers Ropers. Until Friday, as we mentioned, when McAlester gets the bus gassed up for a trip to Tulsa for a rematch with Edison, on behalf of Nate Brown, Chase McNutt, and myself, Brandon Green, don't just have a great night. Have a Buffalo night. Night-night, Harper.
See ya.